या करीब 1600 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है.
We are 220 seconds past the launch time. Current altitude is 135 kilometers. In the 200 seconds of its operation, the L-110 stage carries the rocket up to 175.5 kilometers altitude and imparts a relative velocity of 4.18 kilometers per second. That is 250 kilometers every minute.
Hey, are you someone who faces problems in remembering Excel formulas? What if I tell you that from today onwards, you don't need to remember any Excel formula? And this is possible with the help of AI. When you integrate AI in Microsoft Office, you can create complex Excel formulas, generate Excel reports, analyze your data, and create stunning PowerPoint presentations in just a few seconds. Hi, I'm Jatan Shah, a Microsoft certified trainer, and I have created a 3-hour live and interactive workshop that will teach you how to become a ChatGPT and AI expert with Microsoft Office. The AI skills that you will learn in this workshop will help you save at least 2 hours of your hard work every day. The free AI tools can boost your productivity by automating your work and increase your monthly salary by 3 times. You don't need to have any prior technical experience and you don't need to learn coding for it. You just need to tell the AI what you want to do and the AI will work for you. I have already helped 23,000 employees who use Microsoft Office every day to work 10 times faster, become irreplaceable in their jobs, and unlock job opportunities and better salary packages for them. Now it's your turn. So, click on the link below to join the 3-hour live workshop with me and become a certified ChatGPT, AI, and Microsoft Office expert.
जहां उनकी नजर हो आप वहीं नजर आओ विद गूगल एड्स। ये आपका ऐड इंटरेस्टेड खरीदारों को दिखाए ताकि बिजनेस की गाड़ी चलती जाए। गूगल एड्स, इंटरेस्टेड खरीदार लाए हर बार।
L-110 stage performance normal.
LVM-3 M4 रॉकेट का द्वितीय चरण पूर्णतः सामान्य निष्पादन करते हुए इस चरण में कुल 113 टन के तरल नोदक भरे जाते हैं। N2O4 तथा UH-25 अर्थ स्टोरेबल प्रोपेलेंट को ईंधन के रूप में प्रयोग किया जाता है इस चरण में।
Stage ignition is authorized.
अगला चरण C-25 का प्रज्वलन भावी है।
Plus 5 minutes.
L-110 stage thrust cut off and separated to C-25 ignition command. 25 ignition confirmed.
That's a piece of really good news that the third stage has started its operation. The C-25 stage has been ignited.
जी हाँ, एक बहुत ही जटिल प्रक्रिया होती है क्रायो इंजन का इग्निशन और इसके प्रज्वलन के साथ ही तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से गूंज उठा है मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष। तृतीय चरण C-25 वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है। पूर्णतः सामान्य, सभी तंत्र पूर्णतः सामान्य हैं।
118 kilonewtons thrust in vacuum is what the stage develops with its 28 close to 2 tons of propellant being burnt each second.
एस्ट्रो घटनाक्रम के अनुसार यह यान इस यान से S-200 स्ट्रैप-ऑन बूस्टर्स को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है। यह निष्पादन करता हुआ अपने उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहा है। अब यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत है।
L1 turn stage performance normal.
The trajectory of launch vehicle is closely following the prediction.
Payload fairing separated.
जी हाँ, पेलोड फेयरिंग को पृथक कर दिया गया है यान से, क्योंकि यान अब 114.8 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर चुका है। इस चरण का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 200 सेकेंड होता है और इस दौरान यह करीब 1600 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणुद उत्पन्न करता है।
We are 220 seconds past the launch time. Current altitude is 135 kilometers. In the 200 seconds of its operation, the L-110 stage carries the rocket up to 175.5 kilometers altitude and imparts a relative velocity of 4.18 kilometers per second. That is 250 kilometers every minute.
పాపం ఎంత బలమైనదైనా అంతిమ విజయం సత్యానిదే.
రాఘవ మీకోసం వస్తున్నారమ్మా.
నేను ఎదురు చూస్తుంటాను.
నీకు పుణ్యం ఉంటుంది, పై చూడమాకరా.
మన చరిత్ర నీ చేతుల్లో ఉంది.
This is why I will never buy an apartment.
What does this have to do with an apartment? This is a commercial building, no?
लॉन्च करने के पश्चात
Cryo stage thrust cutoff. Satellite injection condition is achieved.
अभी पुष्टि की गई चंद्रयान 3 को प्रमोशन की कक्षा प्राप्त कर ली गई है।
Chandrayaan 3 satellite separated.
चंद्रयान 3 को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट पर।
Chandrayaan 3 has attained a major milestone successfully.
Chandrayaan 3 mission accomplished. Handing over to mission director.
This is mission director. The LBM-3 M4 Chandrayaan mission accomplished its precise satellite injection condition. LBM-3 M4 mission is successful.
Satellite injection condition is achieved.
Jai Hind.
अभी पुष्टि की गई
The launch has also added a feather in the cap of LBM-3 rocket. You can watch the jubilant congratulatory gestures.
चंद्रयान 3 को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट पर। जी हाँ, चंद्रयान को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है, लेकिन चंद्रयान 3 की यात्रा अभी जारी है। इस मिशन के बारे में हम अध्यक्ष महोदय से सुनेंगे और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं।
We sign off. Up next is addressed by Secretary DOS Chairman ISRO.
Precise satellite injection condition. LBM-3 M4 mission is successful.
Satellite injection condition is achieved.
Jai Hind.
अभी पुष्टि की गई
The launch has also added a feather in the cap of LBM-3 rocket. You can watch the jubilant congratulatory gestures.
चंद्रयान 3 को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट पर। जी हाँ, चंद्रयान को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है, लेकिन चंद्रयान 3 की यात्रा अभी जारी है। इस मिशन के बारे में हम अध्यक्ष महोदय से सुनेंगे और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं।
We sign off. Up next is addressed by Secretary DOS Chairman ISRO.
Precise satellite injection condition. LBM-3 M4 mission is
Congratulations, India. Condition is achieved.
अभी पुष्टि की गई
The
चंद्रयान
launch has also added a feather in the cap of LBM-3 rocket.
कक्षा
You
प्राप्त
can
कर ली
watch
गई
the
है।
jubilant congratulatory gestures.
चंद्रयान 3 को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है एलिप्टिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट पर। जी हाँ, चंद्रयान को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है, लेकिन चंद्रयान 3 की यात्रा अभी जारी है। इस मिशन के बारे में हम अध्यक्ष महोदय से सुनेंगे और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं।
We sign off. Up next is addressed by Secretary DOS Chairman ISRO.
Before that, let me introduce the team behind the Congratulations, India.
अभी पुष्टि की गई चंद्रयान
Launch has also added a feather in the cap of LBM-3 rocket. You can watch the jubilant congratulatory gestures.
Chandrayaan
इलेक्ट्रिकल पार्किंग ऑर्बिट पर जो यहाँ चंद्रयान कर दिया गया है, लेकिन चंद्रयान की
Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology and Departments of Space and Atomic Energy,
और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं।
Dr. Jitendra Singh, respected Chairman and Secretary Department of Space, former Secretaries of the Department, invited dignitaries, respected dignitaries and invitees. I am very happy to report here that the LVM-3 M4 vehicle has injected the Chandrayaan-3 satellite to the precise orbit. And once again, the vehicle is proved to be the most reliable heavy lift vehicle of Indian Space Research Organization. Congratulations to the teamwork of ISRO family. Space and Atomic Energy. I would like to appraise three things here. The vehicle systems are in the continuous process of quality improvement, especially in the development of our human-rating efforts towards make the systems reliable. Secondly, the payload also, capability of the payload also is improved by mission strategies as well as vehicle engineering approaches. We are in the process of increasing the launch frequency of this vehicle considering the national requirements as well as satellite demand. Indian Space Research Organization. Here, so many improvements we have incorporated this vehicle. For example, the S200 nose appraised, they are processed exactly as per the human rating standards, enabling us to have 100% NDT and the inherently pocket erosion characteristics are removed. Because of the problem, mostly it is 100% modified between the human rated engine with the indigenously developed NDT nodes and pocket the backward gas entry also is eliminated and it is a perfect and the stage also is perfectly for example the student also exactly as per the human rating standards I take this opportunity to thank all the mission executives because it is 100% modified mission executives for all the supports all along the launch campaign process as well as the launch. Once the launch manifest is released and mission executives are identified, really this is a balance of so many across the ISRO centers, our launch vehicle centers, CSSC, LPSC, IPRC, IASU, SPSC, SHAR, URSC and the SAC, along with all our industrial partners, major players to the small-scale industries who supply us with all the deliverables in time, quality products, the suppliers of chemicals, propellant ingredients, all the suppliers of avionics systems, and our own GoGo facility operators. Actually, the industrial manpower is really this was virtual manpower. Everybody's efforts went into this, and also the prayers and prestigious of all our seniors, retired executives, everyone's prayers and our own family members. I take this opportunity to pray God Almighty for all the blessings in the form of this success, which was the penance by the ISRO family for last 73 days. And my prayerful pranams for the successful continuous operations of the Chandrayaan spacecraft for its safe and soft landing on lunar surface and further experiments. Thank you. Jai Hind. Everybody's efforts went into this. Respected Chairman of ISRO, also the prayers and prestigious of very happy to know that our Chandrayaan everyone's prayers and orbital parameters. Congratulations and thanks to LVM and all our spacecraft parameters are normal, including the power generation, propulsion of and lander module. Our journey to moon has begun now for the most awaited soft landing. We'll be closely monitoring and controlling the spacecraft from start and go. And many critical events are lined up, starting from earthbound maneuvers, insertion into the lunar South Pole, and separation of lander, and set of e-boost maneuvers, and finally the power descent phase for a soft landing. I take this opportunity to thank Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, and all the
support in building the spacecraft. My special thanks to the expert committees for their constant guidance throughout the various stages of the project. I also thank the various work centers and industries who have contributed directly and indirectly in this mission. My special thanks to URSC council members, group directors, deputy directors across the ISRO centers, and looking forward for a soft landing. My special with all your wishes and blessings from the God. Thank you.
We have our Honorable Minister for Space, who have provided an excellent support for space, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. My special thanks to the historic occasion of success of launching of LBM missile. We would like to hear a few words from him. Over to you, sir.
I also thank the various work centers and industries who have contributed directly and indirectly.
It is indeed a moment of glory for India and a moment of destiny for all of us over here at Sriharikota who are a part of the history. Thank you, Team ISRO, for making India proud. We have our Honorable Minister for Space.
Okay, guys, turn your boats ahead. Please confirm inside.
This is impossible.
Get the key to her financial and cultural Why is this key so hard to get?
It is indeed a moment of glory for India and a moment of destiny for all of us.
Your privacy secured.
Thank you, Team ISRO, for making. Thank you, Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji, for having made this possible by unlocking the gates of Sriharikota and enabling India's space. You would recall Honorable Prime Minister had very recently said, sky is not the limit. And living by his words, I think Chandrayaan today has gone beyond the limits of sky to discover the unexplored horizons of the universe and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, this day today, the 14th of July, 2023, thank you, Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji, for having made this possible. Vindication of the dream that Sarabhai saw 6 decades ago, enabling India's space. He might have been short of resources. You would recall Honorable Prime Minister, but never short of concepts. Sky is not the limit. And when we see those pictures of living by his launcher vehicle being carried on the carriage of the bicycle, has gone beyond the limits of sky to discover without any remorse, without any embarrassment. That is because, ladies and gentlemen, Vikram and his team had faith in themselves, faith in India's potential, faith in India's human. And today, here, we are vindicating India's indigenous capabilities, living up to the ideal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, as Mother India enters into the next 25 years of this Amrit Kaal, she pledges to play a leading global role in the emerging world scenario of 21st century. Thank you and congratulations once again. In India's potential,
Thank you, sir. We will also introduce the directors of the centers who have done all those great work of building the rocket, building the scientific instruments for Chandrayaan-3, the Chandrayaan spacecraft itself, and made all those critical systems, and also the agencies who are going to handle the rest of the mission part, the tracking and the ground stations and all those teams are here. So I request the directors of those centers to join. First, director of the Kasarabhai Space Center.
21st century. Thank you and congratulations.
Good afternoon, India. Last 1 year, this is the 10th mission, including the precise landing of the reusable launch vehicle.
Introduce the directors of the centers.
So with this mission, this is the 7th mission of LBM-3, the successful mission. With this, the success rate of LVM3 is 100%. And this is the ideal vehicle for Gaganyaan. Some of the changes that we are incorporating in Gaganyaan we have implemented here. And the Mark 3 has crossed the reliability of 0.9 and inching forward. So I take this opportunity to salute the entire ISRO community, especially the VSC community and all launch vehicle centers, industry partners for making the stages, making the sub-assemblies and testing. In fact, this is the third launch of LVM in 1 year. You know, the realizing the stages, assembling, testing, and then launching 3 LVM in 1 year is a Herculean task. Some of the changes that we are as well as all ISRO centers for this. And I wish all the very best. We know that when the beginning is good, the ending has to be good. I wish all the very best to the Chandrayaan for its solitary journey through the vastness of space and for making a feather-like soft landing in the 4th week of August. Good luck. Thank you.
Dr. Narayanan, Director LPSC.
Good afternoon to all of you. It is a historical event for Indian space program and a proud moment for all the Indians across the globe on this momentous occasion of the successful launch of the Chandrayaan-3. 3-in-1 spacecraft in the required orbit with the highest level of precision by our heaviest launch vehicle, LVM-3. After the 2 launches of LVM-3 vehicle this year, this vehicle is realized in the record shortest time. Today, once again, all the vehicle systems have performed, demonstrated the 7th successful launch. As you all know, the entire spacecraft community has put wholehearted effort during last 4 years, and we have realized a marvelous, great scientific satellite. For this mission, the entire vehicle performance is as expected, as predicted. In fact, the precision in which the satellite is launched shows the reliability of this vehicle. And we too have 4 liquid propulsion modules, 2 in the launch vehicle. The L110 stage, C25 stage, it has performed extremely well along with all other vehicle systems. We too have 2 more propulsion modules, one for taking the spacecraft to the moon, another one for soft landing. I think it is already well integrated. The system health is very good. Today's success is the culmination of the dedicated, smart, and hard work of all the ISRO team members and the work culture of ISRO and the review process what we follow. I am sure all further mission operations will be a grand success and we'll have the successful soft landing. On this occasion, let me congratulate and compliment the members of ISRO team, our family members who have really sacrificed, the partners from industry and academia, and the various review fora. Thank you. Jai Hind.
The Chandrayaan craft was built at the URO Satellite Center, so I request the Director of URC to speak.
పాపం ఎంత బలమైనదైనా అంతిమ విజయం సత్యానిదే.
రాఘవ మీకోసం వస్తున్నారమ్మా.
నేను ఎదురు చూస్తుంటాను.
నీకు పుణ్యం ఉంటుంది, పై చూడమాకరా.
మన చరిత్ర నీ చేతుల్లో ఉంది.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to first thank my colleagues from the Launch Vehicle Center for providing a textbook-like launch for Chandrayaan-3 on its journey towards moon. Thank you very much. And as Director LPSC and Director VSSC mentioned, realizing this kind of launch vehicle, third launch vehicle within a year's time is indeed a Herculean task. And thank you very much for the effort that has been put by all the members of the launch vehicle community and the industry supporting them. Coming to Chandrayaan-3, Mohan was telling that it is a penance. In fact, it is a penance of the Chandrayaan-3 team for the last 4 years, which has come today as an outcome. It is sitting like a brain sitting inside the head of a human being on that mighty vehicle. On top of that, that satellite was sitting, and it was such a happy moment to see that satellite getting separated. And our work continues from now for the next 42 days till we reach the lunar orbit and touchdown softly on moon. So we'll speak the rest of the things after the soft landing on top of moon. Till then, thank you very much for all the members of the satellite community and the industry for your support, which has been continuing over several years, and I'm sure will continue in future also. Thank you very much.
Space Application Center Ahmedabad plays very important role in our scientific instruments and building of the satellites. Over to Director SAC, Nilesh Desai.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, let me compliment Team ISRO for this excellent work, and especially vehicle team as well as the project team. And as we begin this historic journey towards moon, well begun is half done, as it is said. So I'm sure that we'll succeed in our effort and endeavor to land on moon safe and in secure manner with a soft landing after 45 days. So I wish all the best to all the people who have contributed directly or indirectly, and especially to the project team, spacecraft team, as well as my team at Space Application Center, who has developed sensors and other hazard detection and avoidance system which will help for a secure and safe landing on moon. So once again, I thank all who have contributed in this mission. Thank you.
Director of this center, Satish Dhawan Space Center, is the chairman of the Launch Authorization Board and also realizing the solid motors of this rocket. So over to Director SDSC Shah Rajarajan.
Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, respected Chairman, our mentors and the dignitaries present here, and the entire ISRO family, a very successful launch and hearty congratulations to all the LVM-3, M4 and Chandrayaan-3 mission. So, once again, the fat boy has done its job and put a very precisely our prestigious lunar mission Chandrayaan-3 in the transfer orbit. And I congratulate the SDSC SHAR team, because throughout this launch, we had many launch campaigns of 355 and 56. Along with that, we are proud to have this. In spite of the weather conditions here, we have successfully launched LVM-3 in the prescribed launch window time between July 12th and 19th. And we had a very good, smooth campaign here, and all the hearty congratulations to the entire launch vehicle team, as well as for the last 2 months for hosting the Chandrayaan-3 team here and carrying out all the tests to make sure that Chandrayaan-3 is also ready for the mission. And I also thank our entire logistics team who handled this huge crowd throughout this campaign period, in particular last 2-3 days. And my sincere thanks to the various Indian industries who are now participating in various aspects of solid motor processing as well as the assembly activities of our launch vehicle to make it successful. And I wish a glorious success in the future to come. And I wish, as mentioned in the last week of August, to have a successful soft landing of Chandrayaan-3 lander on the moon surface and to make history. Once again, thank you. Jai Hind.
I request all center directors to join on the podium. Please come, all of you. Can you lower this? Please come. Please come here. Come. Please come.
మీ టూత్ పేస్ట్ లో ఉప్పు ఉందా?
ఉప్పా?
అవును, కోల్గేట్ యాక్టివ్ సాల్ట్ లో ఉప్పు ఉంది. దీని అపూర్వమైన ఫార్ములా 99.9% వరకు జర్మ్స్ తో పోరాడుతుంది. పళ్ళ సమస్యల ఛాన్సే లేదు. కోల్గేట్ యాక్టివ్ సాల్ట్.
We've got to check on green is for the next button. Last one to Bros was If National Research and Innovation Agency making a presentation, we request you to please take your seat here in front. And thereafter, Space Angel Australia and SABR in Australia. The presentations will be made, ladies and gentlemen, from this podium. We also have a clicker for your convenience. The clicker, the slide changer, as you can see, has a green button, which is to go ahead on your slides, and the red button is to go back, should you skip a slide. And the other thing that I have to announce is each presenter is going to get 3 minutes. We request you to please stay within time limit, and a buzzer will be sounded at the end of 2 minutes 30 seconds. So that will alert you when you have 30 seconds remaining. Additionally, there's going to be a timer running on the topmost right corner of your screen for you to assess time.
Excuse me, just to be sure, I'm from the Dassault location. Do you have the slides here?
The slides are going to be with the console, but I'll
So they have it.
I'm sure they'll have it. If you've submitted them, they'll have it.
Okay.
You've already given them, right? Because yours is the fourth one.
Okay.
I mean, this sixth actually, because first we have industry bodies.
Okay.
Hello.
the lady in white. There, she's the one who will guide you. The lady in the white. Yes. Thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now starting with the Space Business Connect session. In this session, we have actually invited overseas and Indian companies to make a pitch about their companies. We have a total of 49 companies as well as 2 industry associations whose representatives are going to be making a pitch presentation. As I said earlier, we request each speaker to be brief and complete their talk in under 3 minutes. Before we begin with the pitch presentation session, we'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman InSpace, who's going to be chairing this session. We extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Somnath S., Secretary, Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, seated on the head dais. And we also extend a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dr. Vinod Kumar, Director Promotion InSpace, and Mr. Shantanu Bhattavdekar, who's the Scientific Secretary of Indian Space Research Organization. Let's extend a hand and welcome the dignitaries in our midst. And I extend a very warm welcome to all the distinguished delegates. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would first, of course, request Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman InSpace, to do the opening remarks. Can we have the microphone on, switched on the dais, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Secretaries, DOS, and my other colleagues here. Welcome to the grand finale of a hectic 2-day of schedule. And as was mentioned by Swarya, that we have about 50 people who will be presenting their pitch on their company. And this will be a Guinness Book of World Record probably for 50 people to finish their talk in 2.5 hours. And that to engineers and scientists and business people. So no politicians though. So so let's see how we manage that. But let me just say it's in a way continuation of what we talked about in the morning, where we talked about what each country is doing, and now we are talking about what some of the companies are doing. We have a very good lineup of companies that will be making the presentations. And I think you will find, as I looked at some of the presentations, that fair amount of work is happening all over the world. Something that none of us perhaps have a full view of. And when you go through this impressive presentation, we will really realize that private sector has come of age when it comes to the space sector. I'm going to request my colleague, Dr. Vinod Kumar, who is Promotion Director in Space, to make an opening statement, and then we will start the presentations.
Thank you, sir. Respected Sri Somnathji, Secretary, Department of Space, and Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman in Space. Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. On behalf of G20 SELM Organizing Committee, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to this amazing Space Business Connect session. During this session, this presentation are planned by global space industry. It is indeed a very significant day as we gather here to witness the cutting-edge innovation and capabilities of space industries from around the world. Friends, we are witnessing a new space era in human history where the space industries are working to revolutionize our understanding of the universe. I am honored to be here before you all as we embark on this journey that we shape the future of space explorations. It is truly inspiring to witness the incredible growth and potential of the global and Indian space industry. The blossoming Indian space industry has garnered worldwide attention and admiration in recent times. You should have read a recent article in New York Times, explosive growth of Indian space tech startups. I am pleased to see that out of total 50 plus presentation, over 60% are from Indian industry. Your dedication, ingenuity, and relentless pursuit of excellence have positioned Indian space sector to be reckoned with within the global space community. Friends, the space industry with its ever-expanding opportunities has the power to transform not only the understanding of our universe, but also everyday lives of here on the earth. Under various verticals of space, I would like to express my gratitude to the G20 SCLM Organizing Committee for this initiative. Your commitment to nurturing the space ecosystem is commendable, and we are privileged to have your unwavering support. The potential partnership that can develop here can propel your ventures to new heights. Without further ado, let us embark on this remarkable journey of limitless possibilities. Friends, new space era has begun. Thank you, and let the presentation begin. Please stick to the allotted time, as we have to have presentation from 50 plus presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will first start with the presentations from the industry bodies. So I'm going to request Mr. Anil Kumar Bhatt, Director General of ISPA, Indian Space Association, to please make his presentation. Sir.
Good afternoon and Jai Hind. Chairman ISRO, Chairman in Space, dignitaries on the stage, and industry delegates in the Space Economy Leaders Meeting. It's my honor to represent the Indian space industry here, and I will quickly go through some of that has been spoken in the last 2 days, would be a repetition. Please pardon me for that, but I would skip most wherever that is required. The Indian Space Association was made in October 2021 to create an enabling environment for strengthening the private industry in the Indian space sector and to propel India to the global forefront in the entire space ecosystem. And our focus areas were, of course, most importantly, unified for the policy framework, for energizing business growth, to interface with the defense and security agencies in India, for capacity and knowledge building, and for international partnerships. During our inauguration, these are the 4 frameworks the Prime Minister gave us. The first was allow the private sector freedom of innovation. Government to play the role of an enabler. We have to prepare the next generation for the future in space and treat the space sector as a resource for the progress of the common man. We today have these members I am flashing to you to just flash to you the major industry players in space which are there in India. 7 of our founding members, 9 of our core members, all of these have been suppliers of components or vendors to ISRO. And now we are looking at them to evolve as independent entities to do end-to-end work in space. We have associated members also, which are also, some of them, international companies, and we have a large number of startups. Putting them as per their expertise, this is how the upstream, midstream, and downstream looks in India. This slide was flashed yesterday by the chairman of InSpace. What I wanted to add is from September last year, when the draft telecommunication policy was taken out, and thereafter the draft geospatial policy, and in April this year, the release of the space policy, these have been very important events in the growth of the Indian space sector. And we are awaiting the FDI policy, which we are hopeful will be coming very soon. Notwithstanding that, activities by our industry members have already started in India. This is how the startups have grown today with a total about 148 which are there recorded and much more who have registered themselves within space. The chairman ISRO in one of his talks 6 months back coined a new word called the National Space Enterprise of India. And what he said was, beyond ISRO, now it is NSIL, InSpace, the entire Indian Space Association and the entire Indian space industry, that includes startups and academia. And all these which form the space enterprise would lead India's future space journey. Of course, many of our industry members will be supported and handheld by ISRO, which has a legacy of more than 60 years. Move the next slide, please. We have had a very positive indication even before the government had announced the policy in 2020, and this is the kind of investment which our startups received in India. And every year it has been increasing, and in 2023 we are very confident that it will cross the figures which are there for 2022. Some of this was again flashed by my chairman, but I would like to highlight to you some of the major activities which has happened is, of course, firstly is the signing of the contract for the PSLVs, 5 PSLVs, with HAL and L&T consortium. Then is Skyroot, which was a startup which just came up in 2018 and was able to launch in November 15, 2021. Agnikul is another company which is making a 3D printed semi-cryogenic engine which has been tested on ground, and we hope they would be launching very soon this year. We had a historical launch of 72 satellites in 2 launches for OneWeb, which happened last year and this year in April. Digantara, again a startup, has successfully launched the world's first commercial space-based weather monitoring systems. Pixel has been able to launch 3 satellites and has also got a contract from NRO in USA. Dhruva has launched 2 nano satellites, while Nelco and Telesat are successfully have had a demo on LEO in India. Ajista, just in June, on 10th June, has launched their first satellite. These are just some of the many successes we have had in the last 1 year after the new policy was announced. And in all this, hand-holding by ISRO and support from InSpace has been a very, very major and important factor in the growth of our private sector. These are the other activities which have happened. I will not go through each one of them. We also got a very policy which I mentioned in April, which gives an opportunity to NGEs to do everything possible, be it in communication, remote sensing, navigation, and in all domains, including space mining and extraterrestrial activities. A lot of faith which has been put in non-government entities by the government, and I am very sure that our industry will live up to these expectations. We have released certain documents. This document I just wanted to highlight. We had got with E&Y, we had got a study done last year on what is the overall Indian space economy compared to the world one, and the figures by their prediction by 2025, we would have an economy of about 13 billion. In various segments, the figures are given there. Of course, launch vehicles would be the least, about 1 billion. This is what the division of the sectors and the likely percentages growth which are likely to happen in satellite manufacture, launch services, ground segments, and satellite services. The largest growth, of course, would be in the launch services. We have also done a study. We had a meeting along with US and IIT Madras, where we were looking at the association of all space entrepreneurs in the Indo-Pacific. We all met there and we agreed that we would be making an association for all of us being together. On the aspect of space technology parks, many of our states in India have been moving in it. Kerala, Gujarat, Trivandrum, where at one spot they are providing all the opportunities for our space industry companies and especially the startups. We in ISPA carry out 2 conclaves. One is the Indian Space Conclave, which we started last year, and we had the Minister and Chairman ISRO there to support us, and a Defense Space Symposium where we looked into what all the defense forces would require, all the 3 services, and we have been able to get 75 defense challenges for the industry from the Ministry of Defense. We would be having the next conclave from 4th to 6th October this year, and we would welcome all of you for that. I finish here. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, we would once again reiterate the time limit. We have to stick to 3 minutes. Now I'd request Mr. Sanjay Kumar, President, Geospatial World, to kindly make his address.
Thank you very much and very good afternoon. Thank you to Dr. Somnath and Dr. Pawan for giving us this opportunity to talk about. I will be talking on behalf of the global geospatial community, a community which is more on to the downstream applications of space infrastructure, and my title would be more about space infrastructure and geospatial value for the world economy and society. Looking at what's happening around us is a lot of change which is on the rise is climate change, disasters, wasteland, or inflation. And the consequence of that is depleting agrofields, water scarcity, depleting natural resources, flora and fauna, and very important, depleting wealth of the nations. Especially in the last 3-4 years, a lot of wealth has gone away from us. So how do we deal with this situation? It's all about resilience. And resilience of all kinds, be it economic, be it social, be it environmental, be it infrastructure, cultural, or human, diversity, equity. These are the kind of resilience the transition is going on currently around us. So, what is the role of space and geospatial infrastructure in that? Geospatial infrastructure and space help you measure, model, monitor, and manage what? And the output is in the form of productivity. It does help you increase productivity, efficiency, transparency, and compliance. And these are very important topics. And actually, when you talk about sustainability of everything, the compliance and transparency are equally important tool of sustainability of everything. And that's where the use of technology for productivity and efficiency is what leads to the economic growth, what leads to the sustainability of everything. Looking at geospace, the foundation of the digital economy. Geospace is actually the foundation. Today, we live in a digital age, and everything is dependent on geospatial technology and space infrastructure. What we help to do is describe the problem, diagnose the problem, predict the solutions, and then prescribe how to address that. This is the kind of workflow cycle we have to find hindsight, insight, and foresight. And that is how the economy is growing. That is how the businesses are using this technology across huge enterprises. just say so many businesses are just dependent on the power of location, power of GNSS. PNT is inside every digital device of this world. And if the PNT is messed up, all of us are messed up. I'm telling about the economic impact. And what is that impact happening around us is that impact is transitioning our industry as a whole. The industry which was seen as a technology, the industry which was seen as a laboratory or a government function is an industry. So now you don't hesitate in saying that space is an industry or a geospatial is an industry in itself. And that is the kind of transaction taking place. And why this market map talks about is the fact that we have GIS and analytics, Earth observation, GNSS and positioning, frontier technologies, infrastructure modeling, solutions and system integrators, and the new kid on the block is the consulting firms. I can share these slides. I know it is not visible, but that is how the global geospatial and space market is organized. And look at the kind of companies, how they are playing into different parts of the role, and that's what we make a solution. And this slide, it talks about the $202 billion of investment in the last 3 years around geospatial and space. I heard about $100 billion investment, which has been said by various speakers in this summit. But where does other $102 billion comes in? That other $102 billion comes in actually from the location and geospatial investments. Host of investments is going on across the location companies, across the 3D modeling companies, across the indoor GIS companies, across the every aspect of living where we are making use of this technology. This industry is actually growing nowhere less than 17 to 20% CAGR every year. Just depends how do you want to define, how do you want to scope it up. That is what is the scope and definition is what makes you believe or not believe, or rather further believe. So global geospatial industry market currently is about $512 billion, out of which this includes GNSS and Earth observation as well. And let me tell you that 65 to 70% of this market is driven out of GNSS and Earth observation. And GNSS is almost 55% of that model. We give a lot of emphasis on Earth observation, but if you look at the actual uses of the space technology for the citizens or the consumers or the businesses or the security, GNSS is the driving force. GNSS is the driving force, I want to tell you. And this is growing at the stage of about 14%. I have a caveat to share. When somebody says that, geospatial space economy is about $1 trillion going to be in 2030, I actually disagree. Space economy right now is already $1.7 trillion. But depends on how do you want to define that. Do you take all the applications, which is Uber or Airbnb or Zomato or all those applications and their business values, do you take them into account as part of your economy? Yes. 35 billion deliveries have taken place in India in last 1 year. 35 billion deliveries means what? Every delivery is based on the location. Every delivery is based on the indoor map. Every delivery is based on the 3D modeling. That's what it is. And this is a published figure. We have just a detailed exercise on this, and you have no hesitation in saying that this data is very, very correct. And the economic impact. Today itself, $7.5 trillion of economic impact. We as a profession, as a holistic profession, we make a $7.5 trillion economic impact. I'll just take 1 more minute or 30 seconds to say that why it is important that we actually talk about safety, sovereignty, and trade of space infrastructure. We heard about sustainability of space. We heard about the threats around that. If safety, sovereignty, and trade of space is not taken into account now, all this will be reversed. One bad actor, I already have seen, couple of bad actors can take it so backward that we all would be starting living into an age which we were about 20 years back. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to request PT Pacific Satellite Nusantara, Indonesia, and to all the speakers, the presenters, I'd like to inform you once again now that we have a buzzer which is going to sound at the end of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And so that will alert you that you have 30 seconds remaining. You will also have on the top right of all screens the countdown timer running so that you're aware of time. Let me now invite PT Pacific Satellite Nusantara, Indonesia. Sir, you can also do it from here. Is it clicker?
Before it starts, just for the knowledge of people from outside India, one of the areas where India has made significant opening up in this year is in the data availability. Geospatial policy was launched earlier the year, and space policy, and both have now made the space data very easily accessible to anyone and everyone. And there's no approval required of any kind for data below 30 centimeter resolution, or data less than 30 centimeter resolution.
Thank you very much for ladies and gentlemen for the time and for the head of delegation. We are from Pacific Satellite Nusantara. We are a private company in Indonesia. Actually, is number 2 for satellite. Usually the number 1 is PT Telkom, is state-owned. But we are growing step by step. Okay, next one. Oh, sorry. So we already 32 years. 1991, PSN is being as a startup at the time. Then we are operating for the beginning as a incline orbit satellite because we don't have money. So we are, but we try to giving solution in the rural area with the motorized antenna and everything's underdeveloped by ourselves to make it incline as a business. And then the second, in 2000, we are together with Lockheed Martin is become MSS, Mobile Satellite Services, at the time as for L-band. And then 2009, we are one of the biggest become cellular backhaul for the GSM using satellite, at that time still using C-band. And 2016, we are complete MBO, means management by objective, means we are finished our financings, we change our management. So then from that time, we have resources that to change all the platform of PSN. After that, 2019, we start Nusantara-1. This is the first HTS for Indonesia, even already have a IP star at that time. And then after that, 2020, we launched Nusantara-2 from this collaboration with China. 2019 is collaboration with SSL from US, thank you. And also in several weeks ago, we just launched the Satria-1, or we call Nusantara-3, is a Satellite Republic Indonesia. This is the first collaboration with the government, 150 gigs. And then the next, we hope the second largest, 160 gigabits per second with Boeing. Okay, next. Oh, sorry. Back. This is our constellation. Nusantara-1, Nusantara-2, Nusantara-3, and Nusantara-5. And we hope, but Nusantara-2 is failed because of rocket. And then we hope by this year, our capacity will be 300 gigabit per second. And we are still designing another satellite. Our target by 2 years more is like 600 gigabit per second. This is our payload and capacity. Okay, enough, I think. Okay, finish. Basically, we are changed it to KA band from C band from KU. Then we changed because the capacity not enough anymore. And then because I'm a head secretary general for Satellite Association in Indonesia, Indonesia is growing like 65% only for the satellite. So satellite industry in Indonesia is a very high increase. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for staying close to your time limit. Ladies and gentlemen, since we have over 50 presentations, I request you to please stick to time limits. We have to complete all the presentations. And I'm now going to request from Space Angel Australia, Mr. Ram Kuppuswamy, to join us on the podium. Also, I request all the industry body members, people at the back, to take front seats. The front seats are empty. We will take the country placards away very shortly, but we can always invite you to come and take these front seats. Sir, this is your clicker. The green button is for ahead and the red for the...
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman of ISRO, Chairman in Space. I'd like to keep the presentation light. I know it's after lunch. Our project from Space Angel is the Australian Space Super Corridor. We are proud to build the world's first green space spots. Our focus is to provide rapid rocket launches at a low cost from the green space spot. The vision is to will be built together as a public-private partnership with the Western Australian government as well as the federal government in regards to providing access to space. Our project is currently listed on the WA Western Australian Investment government website at the moment, and you can get more information from that. The way we see our supply chain as well as collaboration, close collaboration with India is very much how this looks like. In terms of shipping routes into Australia, Fremantle Port, which is pretty much Perth, is the entry point, and then it goes through right all the way through Brisbane and then gets back out. The last exit point is through Western Australia itself. So in terms of supply chain is really, really strong. And that's essentially where the southern polar launch location is, and soon we'll be getting an equatorial launch site as well. In terms of the value proposition in regards to the area, if you look at the area, we have about 450 square kilometers of launch site capacity and capability. The airspace is very clear. There's no marine parks at the moment. And in terms of launch aspects, cadence, and trajectories, is between 51 and 120 degrees for polar. This is specifically for polar. And we can even launch in terms of across the continent, because in terms of population, there's really a very low population at the moment. And so why Australian Space Super Corridor? Key aspects is like a real estate agent: location, 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 low impact on commercial aviation, low impact on launching and landing anomalies, retrieval opportunities is some of the areas that we're looking at. Environmental and social impacts are very, very important. ESG, we've got certification as a process that we will be going through in terms of ESG certifications for the green space spots. Strong federal and state support. The state government is very, very much driving behind this, and essentially to provide a low cost and high impact, economic impact to the world, to the region, and there's a lot of federal and state funding available, including private funding going on at the moment. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. And before I invite the next speaker, I'm going to invite the next 5 to come and sit closer to the podium. Dassault Aviation, France. So from Dassault Aviation, I request the delegate to, esteemed delegate to please join us here. The Exploration Company, we already have our delegate here. Imeria, France. Share My Space, France. And Leonardo, Italy. And with that, I now request Dr. Abhilash Chandra, SCBR in Australia, to please make his presentation.
Thank you. Namaskar, everyone. Dr. Somnath, Chairman of ISRO, Dr. Goenka, Chairman of InSpace. I'd like to thank you for inviting me here to be part of G20. Past 24 hours have been amazing, and I really want to thank everybody for that incredible experience. My background, my name is Abhilash Chandra. I'm Indian by descent, 3 generations removed from India, but India is still in my heart. I live in Australia now, so I've got the best of both worlds. I'm a little bit different to most people here. I'm a practicing vascular general and military surgeon. This is my 23rd year of service in the Australian Army. I've been an infantry soldier, medical officer, and now I'm the senior medical officer for 9th Brigade. I'm also an academic, so industry professor at UniSA and Future Industries Institute. And I'm also the founder and managing director of the Sabrin Group of companies. This background gives me a great opportunity to try and help deliver better healthcare to those who are in the world who need it the most. As we all know, 50% or more of the global population do not have access to adequate healthcare. The top left picture on this slide shows how the distribution of healthcare is globally. The darker areas are areas that do not have enough access to healthcare. So at this point, I'd made it my purpose to try and bring better healthcare faster to all the people who really need it. I've been developing the Sabrin e-Life Pod. Basically, it's a transportable life sustainment pod that can provide an integrated emergency ICU and operating theatre capability. It can be transported by land, air, space, including the littoral zone, by a variety of different vehicles, which includes trucks, trains, planes, helicopters, amphibious vehicles, and boats. And when we look at starting to colonize extraterrestrial environments like lunar surface and Mars surface, I want to try and have the e-Life Pod also providing the best healthcare for our people on extraterrestrial environments. So the e-Life Pod is designed to have better diagnostic, better monitoring, and better treatment capabilities. It'll start off with ultrasound and X-ray. Future generations will have CT scanners. It'll have capability of managing airways, transfusing blood, and performing surgery. It'll have advanced telehealth capability, and it'll be built according to United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. I want to work with India to try and build this e-Life Pod. My goal is to try and get the e-Life Pod to not only be useful for the Gaganyaan projects in the future, but also try and provide better healthcare for India and the world's poorest as soon as possible, being in line with the one Earth, one family, one future. These are my contact details. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or queries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. May I invite Dassault Aviation France, Mr. Philippe da Silva.
So, good afternoon. Okay, and thank you for this opportunity to be with you today. I represent Dassault Aviation, a French company, leader and pioneer in the aerospace industry, both in military and in commercial sectors. And we have in this domain a very long history of cooperation with India. In the space sector, we are primarily focused on the design of reusable space planes and lifting bodies, which are at the crossroad of aeronautics and space, and which can benefit the most from mature aeronautical technologies. And we have been involved in many spacecraft projects since the 60s, ESA programs, NASA program also. And in all these programs, we have always been committed to apply our proven technical aeronautic skills, making Dassault Aviation a unique player in the space sector. So we believe in synergies between space and aviation, and we believe these synergies will become increasingly strong, particularly to meet the growing needs of the commercial sectors. Many of today's space sector challenges are indeed those that aeronautics sector was able to address yesterday. That is what we did over this last century. I'm talking about reactivity, reusability, flexibility, reliability, and of course safety. And we believe that such vehicles, such space planes, is a smart and relevant solution to address these challenges. So space planes are indeed a missing asset of the global space chain value. I was just talking about technical challenge, but space planes also bring key operational capabilities, such as return from orbit, which is still poorly addressed today, and for which we need to come up with more innovative concept, because the need to down mass is going to grow, whether it's people with development of manned flights, but also microgravity experiments, lunar samples, and we are working on such concepts in Dassault Aviation, because tomorrow it will no longer be a question of returning passenger and resources or equipment in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but of operating on hourly schedules, returning as do airplanes at conventional airports, and using existing infrastructures. So these are some examples of all the capabilities that can address such orbital space plane. I won't go, we don't have time, but it's transport, cargo transportations, manned flights, and in-service orbit, and a lot of applications. Regarding our skills are a continuation of aviation technologies. We are above all a global architect and system integrator, mastering all the key technological skills for design, development, testing, production, certification, support of complex air system. And we have extended these key aeronautical skills to the space domain as an extension of the flight domain, faster and higher. As conclusion, I will say that over the past 10 years, the global space sector has undergone an unprecedented transformation and expansion, and as a player in aerospace innovation for over a century, Dassault sees this transformation as a great opportunity. An opportunity to meet new challenges, to make space more accessible, more responsive, more safe, more reliable, and also less expensive. And we are convinced that we have much to contribute to this transformation, and we seize a real opportunity to develop fruitful
और चाहे किसी भी देश के द्वारा संचालित किया जा रहा हो, मिशन के निश्चितता और अनिश्चितता के बीच बहुत ही महीन अंतर होता है, जिससे एक मिशन सफल या असफल होता है। लेकिन ना हम थके, ना हम हारे। हमने अपनी पिछली कमियों को सुधारते हुए आज पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त किया है कि लैंड मॉड्यूल निश्चित तौर पे चंद्रमा की सतह पर सेफ नाम हमारे लैंडिंग करेगा। हमने अपनी पिछली कमियों को सभी दर्शकों के जानकारी के लिए अब हम इसरो के अब तक के सभी लूनर मिशन की संक्षिप्त विवरण प्रस्तुत करेंगे। जी हाँ, इसरो का पहला मून मिशन चंद्रयान-1 अक्टूबर 2008 में PSLV रॉकेट के द्वारा सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपित किया गया था। चंद्रयान-1 चंद्रमा के सतह पर पानी की खोज करके पहले ही इतिहास रच चुका है। यही कारण है कि आजकल विश्व के तमाम अंतरिक्ष वैज्ञानिक और स्पेस एजेंसियां चंद्रमा को और करीब से जानने के लिए उत्सुक दिख रही हैं। अगर हम बात करें चंद्रयान-2 की, जो इसरो का दूसरा मून मिशन है, जुलाई 2019 में इसरो के सबसे ताकतवर रॉकेट LBM-3 द्वारा सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपित किया गया था। और आज भी लगभग 4 साल बाद यह चंद्रमा के 100 किलोमीटर के सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट में घूमते हुए बहुत ही उत्तम क्वालिटी का डेटा प्रदान कर रहा है। मिशन के प्रारंभ में इसकी आयु 1 साल निर्धारित की गई थी, परंतु LBM-3 द्वारा बहुत ही सटीक इंजेक्शन और मिशन मैनेजमेंट की वजह से चंद्रयान-2 काफी लंबे समय तक कार्यरत रहेगा। अब तक चंद्रयान-2 चंद्रमा के लगभग सभी भागों का चित्र ले चुका है। इसका एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण पेलोड OHRC यानी कि ऑर्बिटर हाई रिजोल्यूशन कैमरा विश्व का सबसे बेहतरीन कैमरा है, जो कि चंद्रमा के सतह का लगातार पिक्चर भेज रहा है। अब मैं आरुषि जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि वो आप लोगों को इसरो के वर्तमान मिशन चंद्रयान-3 के बारे में बताएं।
अभी आपने मिस्टर के द्वारा सुना इसरो के अब तक के लूनर मिशंस का विवरण। अब चलते हैं टुवर्ड्स चंद्रयान।
Thank you then to Radhakrishnan for the excellent cooperation that we've been able to set up with him. So we fly our first baby capsule second week of October, and it will be launched by PSLV. And in 2024, we fly our subscale vehicle that will be launched by SpaceX. I want to show you some cool hardware picture. So you can see that this is real, actually. You see on the left-hand side our baby capsule that will be launched here from India, second week of October. You see in the middle the mid-size capsule, which is currently in the manufacturing process. On the bottom of the slide, you see our new integration room in Germany, and you see on the right-hand side the 2 in-house engines that we're developing in-house, green propulsion on the one hand, and oxygen methane for landing.
इसरो के इस महाअभियान से जुड़ने के लिए आप सादर आमंत्रित हैं। मैं पद्मदेव मिश्रा अपने को-होस्ट श्रीमती आरुषि सेठ के साथ आप सभी को और देश विदेश से जुड़े सभी दर्शकों का हार्दिक अभिनंदन और स्वागत करता हूं। 23 अगस्त 2023 आज की शाम इसरो के वैज्ञानिकों और सभी अंतरिक्ष वैज्ञानिकों के साथ लैंडर मॉड्यूल को चंद्रमा के सतह पर उतरने के ऐतिहासिक पलों को देखने के लिए तैयार और उत्सुक हैं। जी हाँ, इसरो के गौरवपूर्ण इतिहास में एक और अध्याय जुड़ने जा रहा है।
Good afternoon, everybody.
और आज हम सब लोग इसके
Thank you
साक्षी
very much
बनेंगे।
to give us the opportunity with my colleagues
आप ये
to
सारे
present
विजुअल्स
our
अपने
industry.
स्क्रीन पर
I hope I
इसरो
will
के
survive
मिशन
to
ऑपरेशन
the
कॉम्प्लेक्स
buzzer torture.
यानी मॉक्स से देख रहे हैं, जो कि बेंगलुरु में स्थित
Okay,
टेलीमेट्री
Energia in
ट्रैकिंग
brief,
एंड कमांड
we
नेटवर्क
are a
स्ट्रैक से
medium-sized
प्रसारित
company,
किया जा रहा है।
70 million of revenue.
ये विजुअल्स आपको पावर
400
डिसेंट के काउंटडाउन
employees,
और उस पथ को
3
प्रदर्शित
plants.
कर रहा है जिस पे चलकर लैंडर
And to
आज
summarize,
चंद्रमा
we
के
have
साउथ
3
पोल
lines of
पे
products
सेफ और सॉफ्ट
for
लैंडिंग करेगा।
space, but not only space, for
आपको
sky
ध्यान दिला
also,
दूं,
satellites.
इस समय हम लोग पावर
design and
डिसेंट
make
शुरू
small
होने से
satellite balloons.
लगभग 22 मिनट
And
दूर
also
हैं।
we have a product
जो
line,
दर्शक
of
थोड़ी देर से
equipments
जुड़े हैं
to,
उनकी जानकारी के लिए
make
बता दें,
trajectography.
आप लोग इस ऐतिहासिक पल को इसरो के ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट, फेसबुक, ट्विटर और यूट्यूब पे भी देख सकते हैं।
Oh, yes, I have the. I did not understand. Excuse me.
Honorable dignitaries, delegates, scientists, media personnel, and dear viewers,
we propose
a very good
small
evening
sat.
to all of you.
Small sat means
We at ISRO
satellites
welcome you
which are
to the
under,
live coverage
100
of India's
kilograms
prestigious
and which address,
Chandrayaan-3 mission's
I would say,
landing
3
event on the lunar
market
surface.
segments. One is connectivity.
These are the visuals from Mission
mainly,
Operation Complex
IoT.
at ISRO's
We are
Telemetry,
providing,
Tracking and Command Network, ISTRAC, situated in
satellites
Namma,
for a
Bengaluru,
constellation called
Karnataka.
Kineis, in particular.
I, Arushi Seth, and my
one
colleague,
product line
Dr.
is
Padamdeo
for,
Mishra,
Earth
are your
observation.
hosts for the evening and shall accompany you on
And
the journey
the
of
third
the landing
one,
event from power
up to
descent
now
start
is,
to touchdown.
Only dedicated
Today we
to
shall be
defense,
witnessing the final phase
application
of the
is,
critical and most
for space
technologically
surveillance,
challenging
and
mission
we are
operations
manufacturing,
of Chandrayaan-3,
right now
wherein the lander
2
module
satellites,
will be making
for
a
the
safe
French MOD
and soft
to
landing
be in
on the surface of the moon.
Orbit.
These display
And,
screens
the purpose of
show the
those
countdown
satellites
to the
is going
power
to
descent
protect
start, as well as the path
the key
that will be
assets
followed by the lander
that,
module.
the forces have in the,
We are
in the,
18
in,
minutes
in,
away
geo-orbit.
from the commencement
We
of
have
power
also
descent.
under development a
India
vehicle,
is at the brink of creating
to
history
take care
as we
about,
all await with bated breath to
transportation
witness
of satellites,
the landing on Moon's
up to
south
geo,
polar region.
Orbit. About the balloons, balloons is our systems now, which are becoming again, I would say, fashionable. But just focus on the one category of balloons, which are stratospheric balloons. We are developing a maneuvering balloon, which is going to be able to stay at something like 20 kilometers of altitude during 6 months, to stay stable in regards of the ground, so that there will be a lot of applications, Earth observation, telco, and so on, and it will be available in next year, in fact. And I wanted also to be brief to talk about our last baby.
धन्यवाद आरुषि।
We are
अगर
also
मैं सही मायने में
we
कहूँ
are
तो
trying
अंतरिक्ष का कोई भी मिशन
move
हो
also,
और चाहे किसी भी देश के द्वारा संचालित किया जा रहा हो, इसरो मिशन की निश्चितता और अनिश्चितता के बीच बहुत ही महीन अंतर होता है, जिससे कि एक मिशन सफल या असफल होता है। लेकिन ना हम थके ना हम हारे,
which is going
हमने
to focus
पिछली कमियों को सुधारते हुए
on the subject
आज
of water,
पूरी तरह से
inland
आश्वस्त
water,
किया है कि
management of the
लैंडर
water,
मॉड्यूल निश्चित तौर पे
prediction of
चंद्रमा के सतह पर सेफ
with
और
2
सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग
segments.
करेगा।
We are going to put in orbit
सभी दर्शकों
constellation
के
of
जानकारी के
satellites
लिए अब हम
to make
इसरो
certain
के
measurements
अब तक
daily
के सभी लूनर
on
मिशंस को संक्षिप्त
30,000
विवरण
points
प्रस्तुत
on
करेंगे।
the Earth, and we have
जी हाँ,
also, of course,
इसरो का पहला मून
digital,
मिशन चंद्रयान-1 अक्टूबर
which is,
2008 में पीएसएलवी रॉकेट के
providing
द्वारा
data and
सफलतापूर्वक
services
प्रक्षेपित
to
किया गया
manage
था। चंद्रयान-1 ने चंद्रमा के सतह पर पानी की खोज करके पहले ही इतिहास रच चुका है। यही कारण है कि आजकल विश्व के तमाम अंतरिक्ष वैज्ञानिक और स्पेस एजेंसियां चंद्रमा को और करीब से जानने के लिए उत्सुक दिख रही हैं। अगर हम बात करें चंद्रयान-2 की, जो इसरो का दूसरा मिशन है, जुलाई 2019 में इसरो के सबसे ताकतवर रॉकेट LVM-3 द्वारा सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपित किया गया था।
Good afternoon,
और आज
everyone.
भी
Dear
लगभग 4
Chairman,
साल
I'm
बाद
very honored to be
यह
here with
चंद्रमा
you
के
and
100
to present
किलोमीटर
to
के
you my
सर्कुलर
company,
ऑर्बिट
Share
में
My
घूमते
Space.
हुए बहुत ही उत्तम क्वालिटी का
So
डेटा प्रदान
we
कर
are
रहा है।
a
मिशन
French-based
के
company
प्रारंभ में
with a
इसकी
global
आयु
ambition,
1 साल
and we
निर्धारित
work
की गई थी,
in the field of space
परंतु
surveillance and
LVM-3
space
द्वारा
operations,
बहुत ही
safety and
सटीक
security.
इंजेक्शन और मिशन
So we
मैनेजमेंट
were
की वजह से
incorporated in
चंद्रयान 2
2017
काफी
for
लंबे
one
समय तक
fundamental
कार्यरत
reason,
रहेगा।
Earth
अब तक
orbit
चंद्रयान
congestion.
2
So now there
चंद्रमा
are
के
more and
लगभग
more
सभी
satellites
भागों
in
का
Earth
चित्र ले
orbits,
चुका है।
more and more space
इसका
debris
एक
that are
बहुत ही
causing
महत्वपूर्ण
increasing
पेलोड
risks for the
OHRC यानी
sustainability
कि
of
ऑर्बिटर
human
हाई
activities
रेजोल्यूशन
in
कैमरा
space.
विश्व
So
का सबसे
our
बेहतरीन
fundamental
कैमरा है,
mission is to tackle
जो कि
that.
चंद्रमा की सतह का लगातार
So
पिक्चर भेज रहा
how
है।
do we do it?
अब मैं
So we've
आरओसी जी
built
से निवेदन
a
करूंगा
system that
कि
we called our
वो आप
orbital
लोगों को
information
इसरो के
system,
वर्तमान मिशन
which is a
चंद्रयान
set of
3 के बारे में
algorithms and
बताएं।
database architecture, all secured. So we process, we
अभी आपने
ingest,
मिश्रा जी
process,
के द्वारा
package
सुना
and distribute
इसरो के अब
high
तक के
added
लूनार
value
मिशंस का
data
विवरण।
for our customers,
अब चलते
to
हैं
our
towards
institutions,
Chandrayaan 3,
military
the
bodies,
follow-up
and commercial
mission of
players in the
Chandrayaan
space
2,
sector.
which has been
So we
designed to
ingest data
accomplish
from
our mission
various
goals.
sources. So
The primary objective of
public
Chandrayaan
sources,
3 mission
sources
is
from
the
partners,
demonstration of
including
safe and
our
soft landing on
customers.
the lunar surface.
And as a
This
key part of
demonstration
our
is a
orbital
critical
information
aspect
system,
for
we
ISRO's
control a
future
network
interplanetary
of,
missions.
Of optical,
In addition
optical
to this,
stations,
the mission
scattered around the
objectives
world. We
also
currently
include
have 4
demonstration
operational
of
optical
roving
stations.
capability and conduction
And
of
we've
in
actually
situ
designed,
scientific
developed, and
experiments on
deployed,
Moon's surface.
a
Carried
key
on the
innovation that
shoulders
we
of
call the
India's heaviest
multi-telescope
rocket,
observation station.
LVM-3,
So it's
on the
an optical
14th of
system,
July,
made out of 4
Chandrayaan-3 was
optical
placed in the precise
telescopes that
elliptic
scan the
parking
sky and
orbit
detect all the
of
objects
size
that cross
170
an
by
observation range.
36,500
So it works a little bit
kilometers.
like a radar system would do,
ISRO,
but using
in its mission plan
optical
of
technology,
following
which
the incremental
enables us to
trajectory
drive the
approach,
costs down
carried
and
a
to bridge
total
the gap
of
with the
5
commercial
earthbound
market.
maneuvers.
So
The fifth
we've
apogee
designed the
raising
system to
maneuver,
be
which
extremely
took place
sensitive
on the 25th of
in
July,
LEO, across all
placed
orbits,
the
and in particular
spacecraft
LEO,
in an orbit
also,
of 250
very
by
accurate, so it enables
1,27,000
us
kilometers.
to address a
At the
wider
early hours
market.
of 1st August,
So
the
currently we detect
translunar
the-
injection
even
was
the
carried
smallest
out,
objects
after
in the
which
US
the
catalog,
composite
both in
module
LEO
began
and
the
in
final
GEO.
leg of its long journey of nearly 384,000 kilometers for its rendezvous
we've
with the
successfully
moon.
addressed the
The
key
TLI
segments
was
of
a
our market,
key
so
step in the
institutions,
mission,
military, and
enabling the
commercial
spacecraft
players.
to
We have
escape
15
Earth's
customers in
gravitational
7
pull
different
and
countries
travel to
around
the moon.
globe. And
An
we've really
orbit
managed
of
to package,
288 by
key products for each of these
369,328 kilometers was achieved
So
at the end
we are
of the
looking forward
translunar
First, I'd
injection.
like to thank again the ISRO and CNES
जी
for
हाँ,
having us here. And
ट्रांसलूनर
we're definitely
इंजेक्शन
looking forward
किसी भी
to further
इंटरप्लेनेटरी मिशन के लिए
collaborations with
बहुत
the
ही
Indian
आवश्यक
partners.
परंतु कठिन ऑपरेशन होता है। इस सफल मैन्यूअर के बाद चंद्रयान 3 पृथ्वी से दूर निकलकर चंद्रमा के प्रभाव क्षेत्र में एक हाइपरबोलिक ट्रैजेक्टरी के द्वारा पहुंचाया गया। पुनः 5 अगस्त 2023 को लूनर ऑर्बिट इंसर्शन के द्वारा चंद्रयान 3 को 160 किलोमीटर के पेरिलून और 18,000 किलोमीटर के अपोलून के साथ चंद्रमा के इलिप्टिकल ऑर्बिट में स्थापित कर दिया गया। टीएलआई के तरह एलओआई भी एक बहुत जटिल ऑपरेशन होता है। इसमें हमें यह ध्यान देना आवश्यक होता है कि उपग्रह के वेगमान को एक निश्चित बिंदु से घटाया जा सके, अन्यथा उपग्रह चंद्रमा के प्रभाव क्षेत्र से बाहर निकल जाएगा। एलओआई के सफलतापूर्वक परिचालन के बाद चंद्रयान 3 की कक्षा को 4 बार और परिवर्तित किया गया। इस दौरान चंद्रमा की अधिकतम ऊंचाई को घटाकर 160 किलोमीटर कर दिया गया। इस पूरी प्रक्रिया में propulsion मॉड्यूल का लगभग 755 किलोग्राम ईंधन का उपयोग हुआ और चंद्रयान 3 के वेगमान को लगभग 850 मीटर प्रति सेकंड कम कर दिया गया। लैंडर मॉड्यूल को लगभग 150 किलोमीटर के सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट में स्थापित करने के बाद 17 अगस्त 2023 को propulsion मॉड्यूल से अलग कर दिया गया। पुनः लैंडर मॉड्यूल के ऑर्बिट को 2 ड्यूब मैन्यूवर्स के द्वारा 150 किलोमीटर के सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट से घटाकर 25 गुणे 130 किलोमीटर के इलिप्टिकल ऑर्बिट में स्थापित कर दिया गया। इस दौरान यह भी सुनिश्चित कर दिया गया कि 800 न्यूटन के चारों थ्रोटल थ्रस्टर्स पावर डिसेंट के समय किसी भी चुनौती का सामना कर सकें। लैंडर मॉड्यूल इस ऑर्बिट में 4 दिन तक चंद्रमा की परिक्रमा करता रहा ताकि इसके सभी सब सिस्टम को पावर डिसेंट से पहले कार्यात्मक रूप से वेरीफाई और वैलिडेट किया जा सके। इस दौरान चंद्रयान 2 और लैंडर मॉड्यूल की आपस में बातचीत भी हो चुकी है। और संक्षेप में अब तक की यात्रा की बात करें तो लैंडर मॉड्यूल अब तक 21 बार पृथ्वी के और लगभग 120 बार चंद्रमा का चक्कर लगा चुका है और इस पूरी यात्रा में लगभग 55 लाख किलोमीटर की यात्रा भी पूरी कर चुका है। अब तक के इस पूरे अभियान में यह भी सुनिश्चित किया गया कि सारे ऑर्बिट मैन्यूअर्स इस प्रकार किए जाएं कि लैंडिंग साइट पावर डिसेंट की शुरुआत से ही लैंडर के ऑर्बिटल प्लेन में बना रहे।
Leonardo provides instruments and equipment.
That is true indeed. We have arrived at the crucial juncture wherein the orbit plane contains the desired landing site at the start of powered descent. We are also happy to announce that live images from the Chandrayaan-3 lander imager camera is being received continuously. The demonstration of soft landing on the moon's surface is no ordinary feat due to the innumerable challenges and complexities involved. The lander velocity has to be killed from nearly 6,048 kilometers per hour without any aid from the thin and tenuous moon's atmosphere. The lunar dust at the time of landing and the craters and boulders scattered over the moon's surface make it further complicated to achieve this. The new and improved Chandrayaan-3 design has been built after envisaging all the scenarios which the lander module can encounter. With several software improvements, provision for full-level redundancies, a plethora of special tests, namely the integrated hot test, integrated cold test, and lander leg drop tests were carried out for the lander module. The success of these tests has provided great confidence in the performance of all the onboard sensors, propulsion system, and associated guidance, control, and navigation algorithms. The key findings during the tests have enabled to improve the overall system performance. The largely unexplored South Pole of the Moon has been chosen as the intended landing site, since there is a possibility of finding ice and other minerals which would be vital resources for future explorers. Apart from continuing investigations pioneered by Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2, the Chandrayaan-3 mission will also provide invaluable data to the science community around the world. Let us give our viewers a glimpse on the configuration of Chandrayaan-3 mission.
Start with the statement that says that we do everything but launcher, meaning space infrastructure, telecommunication, Earth observation, science, exploration, and navigation. And in this picture, you can actually see all the orbits and all the products that, by the way, are very well flight-proven since the last 40 years. So you see at the list of the chart, the Mars, where we have an orbiting
चंद्रयान-3 का मिशन प्लान लगभग चंद्रयान 2 की तरह ही बनाया गया है। यहाँ यह भी सुनिश्चित किया गया है कि चंद्रयान 3 को रॉकेट से अलग होने से लेकर के चंद्रमा के निकटतम कक्षा में स्थापित होने तक सारी गतिविधियां चंद्रयान 2 के तरह ही हों। और अब हम यह कह सकते हैं कि यह प्लान पूरी तरह से 100% सफल रहा। हालांकि लैंडर मॉड्यूल के सेंसर्स और प्रोपल्शन सिस्टम को इस तरह से मजबूत किया गया है कि लैंडर पावर डिसेंट के समय किसी भी आपदा से बाहर आकर के मिशन के मुख्य उद्देश्य को पूरा कर सके। इस क्रम में लैंडर के मुख्य सेंसर्स कारा, लासा, LHBC, LDV और LHDAC का कार्यात्मक परीक्षण भी किया जा चुका है। LDV जो कि पूर्णतः स्वदेशी तकनीकी से बनाया गया एक नया सेंसर है, इसका मुख्य कार्य लैंडर के वेलोसिटी को तीनों अक्षों में कंप्यूट करना है। पावर डिसेंट के दौरान लैंडर के सटीक पोजीशन और वेलोसिटी का ज्ञान होना बहुत ही आवश्यक है। लिराफ यानी लेजर इनर्शियल रेफरेंसिंग एंड एक्सीलरोमीटर पैकेज इस कार्य को पावर डिसेंट के दौरान बखूबी निभाएगा। ट्रैजेक्टरी जनरेशन जो कि चंद्रयान 3 मिशन के लिए बहुत ही अहम है, क्योंकि हर ऑर्बिट मैन्यूवर के बाद यह सुनिश्चित किया जाता है कि लैंडर की मिशन ऑब्जेक्टिव को ना बदले। इस क्रम में मैं यह भी आपको बता दूं कि ऑर्बिट डिटर्मिनेशन जो कि उपग्रह के पोजीशन और वेलोसिटी को बहुत ही एक्यूरेटली बताता है, एक बहुत ही कठिन और जटिल कंप्यूटेशन और एस्टिमेशन होता है। यहाँ यह भी जानना महत्वपूर्ण है कि चंद्रयान 2 का OHRC पेलोड अब तक काफी ऊंचे स्तर का डैम प्रदान किया है, जिसके फलस्वरूप लैंडिंग साइट की सीमा को बढ़ाकर 4 × 2.4 किलोमीटर कर दिया गया है, जो कि पावर डिसेंट के दौरान सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग कराने में काफी सहायक सिद्ध होगा।
We have the S-Pre module for the resources.
Apart from the sensors, Chandrayaan-3 is equipped with a suite of sophisticated payload instruments. While Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2 orbiter have provided abundant remote sensing data of Moon, equally important are the on-site localized measurements that provide ground truths. Lander and rover have payloads which are completely new and will perform in situ analysis of lunar surface. The two spectroscopes on rover, APXS and LIBS, will actively measure the surface elemental abundances at the landing location and surrounding area. The lander carries a seismometer ILSA that can sense impact events and lunar quakes. The thermal probe CHAST will measure the temperature profile and thermal conductivity of Moon's regolith. The Rambha payload will carry out lunar ionosphere studies, while the laser retroreflector array shall be a passive location indicator for future spacecraft equipped with laser altimeters. The propulsion module has not been left behind, and an experimental shape payload has been added to it as a value addition.
Thank you very much,
It will help in understanding the nature and characteristics of water-rich planets and will also aid in the future study of potentially habitable exoplanets. We are minutes away from the start of powered descent. The entire powered descent shall be carried out by the onboard autonomous landing sequencer, or ALS, which is a series of instructions preloaded to the lander module. These instructions include the commands to be executed, data to be collected and analyzed, and decisions to be made and executed autonomously throughout the powered descent.
So this is overview of our company, iSpace. So we were established in 2010
जी हाँ, अब हम पावर डिसेंट के बहुत ही करीब आ चुके हैं। हम आपको बताते चलें कि पावर डिसेंट को कुल 4 चरणों में बांटा गया है। सबसे पहले आता है रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज, जिसमें लैंडर की ऊंचाई को चंद्रमा की सतह से 30 किलोमीटर से घटाकर 7.4 किलोमीटर कर दिया जाएगा। इस पूरी प्रक्रिया को पूरा करने में लगभग 11.5 मिनट लगेगा और इसका समानांतर वेग 1680 मीटर प्रति सेकंड से घटाकर 358 मीटर प्रति सेकंड हो जाएगा।
We have continuous flow of lander telemetry data from ISRO's Deep Space Network IDSN-32 located in Belalu, Bengaluru. The data is being acquired real-time by station and is flown to the Mission Operation Complex through our communication links. In addition to it, we also have support from ESA and JPL DSN stations. There will be no ground intervention once the ALS takes charge. The preparation for today's event had started 48 hours before, wherein various pre-selections and uplinking of parameters for the autonomous landing sequence were carried out.
Last year in December.
The whole descent is divided into 4 phases: the rough braking phase, the attitude hold phase, fine braking phase, and the local navigation phase or the terminal descent phase.
The result was ended as hard landing. But it is very important that we identified the root cause of the hard
होल्ड
landing
फेज, जो कि पावर डिसेंट का दूसरा चरण है, एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण फेज है। इस 10 सेकंड के स्मॉल ड्यूरेशन के दौरान लैंडर के 2 महत्वपूर्ण सेंसर कारा और लासा लैंडर की ऊंचाई की गणना करेंगे। इस फेज के पूरा होते ही लैंडर चंद्रमा की सतह से कुल 6.8 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई पर होगा।
During the rough braking phase, the lander velocity shall be brought down from 1,680 meters per second to 358 meters per second. The altitude will be brought down from 30 kilometers to 7.4 kilometers at the end of rough braking.
So mission 2, we are going to use the same lander. And as for mission 3, we are going to upgrade for commercialization, which has 500 kilograms payload capacity. We are going to launch mission 2 in 2024.
We can see the scientists are analyzing the lander data
As for mission 3, we got a big contract from NASA under
जी
CRISP
हाँ,
program,
हम ये देख
and
सकते
we are
हैं
going to
कि
bring
मिशन
100
ऑपरेशन
kilograms of
कॉम्प्लेक्स
NASA's
रूप में
payload
बैठे
to the
सभी
far side of the
वैज्ञानिक
moon.
ये जो
We
भी
are going to
डेटा
bring two
देख रहे
commercial
हैं
communication
वो
satellites together with
डीप
this lander.
स्पेस नेटवर्क आईडीएसन
If you are interested
32 के
in
द्वारा
lunar mission in
प्रोवाइड
the
किया
future,
जा रहा है।
so please kindly
और
contact
अगर हम
us
अब बात
and,
करें
let's
पावर
go to the
डिसेंट के
moon
तीसरे
together.
चरण
Thank
का
you very much.
जो कि फाइन ब्रेकिंग फेज होगा, जिसमें लैंडर
Thank you
लैंडिंग
very
साइट
much
से
indeed,
जस्ट
sir. And
800
before I
मीटर
invite
की
the next
ऊंचाई पर
presenter, may I
वर्टिकली
invite
होगा।
presenters,
इस
the
चरण
next
को
set of 5 presenters
पूरा
to
होने
please come
में
and take
लगभग
seats
3
close
मिनट
to the
लगेंगे
podium.
और इस
Unmanned
चरण के
Exploration
पूरा होते
Laboratory,
ही
Republic of
लैंडर
Korea,
की
Glab
वेलोसिटी
Cosmos, Russia,
लगभग
Inmarsat,
शून्य हो जाएगी।
UK, Nathira Global Communications Limited, and Voyager
The scientists
Space
here
USA.
at ISRO
And
are
now I
glued to their
invite from
systems,
Sagri, Japan,
analyzing
Mr.
all
Satoshi
sorts of
Nagata.
complex data. We are very close to the powered descent, to the start of the
Nice to
powered
meet you all.
descent phase.
And at first, I'd like to thank you, ISRO team and the admin team for today.
जी हाँ,
Nice to
अगर
meet you.
अगर
I'm
अगर हम
Satoshi
अब बात
Nagata
करें पावर
from
डिसेंट
Sagri.
के चौथे और
Our
अंतिम चरण का,
company from Japan,
जो कि लोकल
established in
नेविगेशन फेज या
2018.
टर्मिनल डिसेंट फेज भी कहा
Actually,
जाता
we have a
है।
company
इस दौरान
in Bangalore
लैंडर के
here.
2 इंजन
Actually,
बंद
I'm
कर दिए
leading the
जाएंगे
Indian
और लैंडर के
engineering,
सेंसरों द्वारा इसके
engineering
हाइट
and,
और वेलोसिटी
sales
की
team
गणना
I'm leading,
इनर्शियल नेविगेशन
from
को
India,
भेज दिया
yeah.
जाएगा।
Actually, our
इस दौरान
company in
लैंडर
our world,
150 मीटर की
we are
ऊंचाई को
utilizing the
प्राप्त करने
satellite
के बाद
images, AI,
कुल
mapping technologies.
131
We are
सेकंड लगाएगा।
utilizing these
इस पड़ाव पे
three
आने
key
के
features
बाद
of
पुनः
technology
लैंडर
and
22
supporting
सेकंड के लिए
farmers in
हवरिंग
emerging
करेगा।
countries. Okay, this is an example of our technology. We have two key features. Yeah, one is the auto mapping of farmland. We are, for example, in emerging countries, farmland is scattered. For
आप
example,
इस समय अपने स्क्रीन पे मिशन ऑपरेशन कॉम्प्लेक्स में बैठे सभी मान्य गणों को देख सकते हैं, जो कि बहुत ही उत्सुकता के साथ टेलीमेट्री डेटा को देख रहे हैं। अभी हम लोग पावर डिसेंट शुरू होने से जस्ट कुछ ही पल दूर हैं।
Main chemical indexes we can track. Maybe based on these analysis, we can optimize the fertilizer.
पावर डिसेंट शुरू होने में लगभग 30 सेकंड ही बचा है और हमको ये सारे डेटा मिशन ऑपरेशन कॉम्प्लेक्स रूम में आईडीएसन 32 के द्वारा, जो कि लगातार लैंडर के कनेक्शन में बना हुआ है, प्रदान कर रहा है।
To deal with these challenges,
Dear viewers, the pivotal power descent has begun, and the lander module is propelling towards the moon's surface along the intended trajectory.
We can support farmers like these, based on satellite image analysis of farmland. Then we can suggest farmers to please decrease chemical fertilizer. Based on that decrease, farmers can decrease the greenhouse
जी हाँ,
gases.
अब हम देख सकते हैं रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज की शुरुआत हो चुकी है।
We can contribute also to the a carbon neutral station in the world.
During this rough braking phase, the lander velocity shall be brought down from 1,680 meters per second to 358 meters per second.
In this concept,
the altitude will be brought down from 30 kilometers to 7.4 kilometers at the end of rough braking. All this in the duration of 690 seconds or 11.5 minutes. Currently, the laser inertial reference and accelerometer package is aiding in the navigation.
जी हाँ, अभी आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर अब तक कुल 191 किलोमीटर हॉरिजॉन्टल दिशा में चल चुका है और अभी तक इसकी वेलोसिटी लगभग 31 किलोमीटर बनी हुई है।
Mr. Yongsub Kim.
The lander module has traveled a distance of approximately 228 kilometers. The complete downrange that will be traveled during this phase shall be nearly 713.5 kilometers.
UEL provides many different robotic platforms
जी हाँ,
for use in
कुल 745 किलोमीटर के इस रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज में आप देख सकते हैं कि हम लोग लगभग अपनी यात्रा 20% कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं।
Lunar equipment. As a leading startup aligned with Korea's national space policy. We have partnered with
पावर
key
डिसेंट
national
की यह शुरुआत
research
हम कह
institutes
सकते हैं कि
in
बहुत ही सटीक
aerospace,
और सदी हुई
construction
है,
and nuclear
जिसमें
energy,
लैंडर
and
अपने
are
वेगमान
paired with
को अनुमानित
particular
तरीके से घटा रहा है.
projects for space exploration. We have
The altitude of the lander module will reduce from 7.4 kilometers to 6.8 kilometers.
Two-wheel rovers
During
to
the
large
next phase, which is
rovers
going to
with
be
dedicated
the
suspensions
attitude
and
hold phase.
solar panels.
We can currently
We
see
are
that the
also
altitude of the lander
experimenting
module
with foldable
is nearly
chassis and
31
various
kilometers.
Technologies that allow our rovers to
ROCC
be
अभी हम इस ग्राउंड
into
ट्रेस को
small
देखते हुए
space
कह
and
सकते हैं कि रफ
be
ब्रेकिंग फेज
available
की
for more
शुरुआत बहुत ही
ignition.
अच्छे तरीके
And
से हुई है. आप ये देख सकती हैं
this is
कि जो भी
our
प्रोजेक्टेड
foldable
ग्राउंड
rovers
ट्रेस है
and,
उसी पे अपना
we can
लैंडर मॉड्यूल
downsizing
आगे
our
चलते हुए
field.
बढ़ रहा है. अभी तक ये देखा जा
like this
सकता है
technology.
कि लैंडर मॉड्यूल लगभग 370
We also
किलोमीटर
have
36
separate
दिशा में चल चुका है.
technologies for 3D printing technology that can use lunar regolith.
The mission
and
operations team is
manufacture
analyzing the data.
lunar soil for experimenting
We
lunar
can
equipment.
all see the seriousness and the concentration with which
We are
each
going
and
to,
every
going
parameter
through
of the
these
lander
projects
module is
with-
being
with
analyzed.
various partners
The
both in
performance, performance so far
public
seems
and
to be
private
nominal.
sector. We have institutions
जी
with
आरुषि.
whom we are developing a lot of
चूंकि
these
ALS एक्टिवेट किया जा
foldable
चुका है,
structures.
इसलिए ग्राउंड से
These
कोई
partners
कमांडिंग
are
नहीं की जा रही है.
critical for
इस
us
दौरान
to
आपके
gain
स्क्रीन
access
पे
to
सारे
advanced
डेटा इसरो के
technologies
डीप
such
स्पेस
as building
नेटवर्क
materials,
से रियल टाइम
testing
में आ
in
रहे
their
हैं.
space
इस
environments.
मिशन में सेकेंड और थर्ड
Our
ऑर्डर
startup is
गाइडेंस
located in
पॉलिनोमियल
both
का
the
प्रयोग हुआ
capital
है,
Seoul
जो कि
as well as
इनर्शियल
factory
थ्रस्ट और
in a
एंगल
nearby city of
हमेशा
Ansan.
सुनिश्चित करेगा.
The pride of our facility.
During the entire descent, there is no ground intervention as the ALS has taken charge. The preparation for today's event had started nearly 48 hours
Also, we are
before,
collaborating
wherein various
with
pre-selections and
YouTuber
uplinking of
Minami
parameters
to increase
were done.
public,
We can see that the vertical
interest in the
velocity
space
of the lander module
industry in
has
Korea.
been brought down. It is
If
continuously
you have
coming
any
down.
questions, feel free to contact us in the email
And the
address
ALS
here.
had already
Thank
been
you for
initiated
my
1 hour
pre-
before
thank
the
you for hearing
scheduled
my
time of the power descent
presentation.
start. Following this, the throttleable engine electronics module, the TECM, was switched on and lander was oriented to
very
the
much,
favorable
sir.
attitude.
And with that, now let me invite
जी
from
हाँ, आप
Lab
अपनी
Cosmos
स्क्रीन पे
Russia,
देख
Mr.
सकते हैं
Dimitri.
कि लैंडर मॉड्यूल जिसकी शुरुआत में वेलोसिटी 1680 मीटर पर सेकंड थी, लगभग 1150 मीटर पर सेकंड हो चुकी है, जो कि एक बहुत ही मैजेस्टिक शुरुआत कही जा सकती है इस रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज के लिए.
Presentation backwards. This is a very complicated chart that just justifies our presence here.
यहाँ पे मैं
All
आपको
of
ये
you
भी
know how
बताते चलूं
important
कि आप
all of us
अपनी
are in the
स्क्रीन पे
space
देख
industry for
सकते
the
हैं
space economy. And
कि
since we are in the
द
space
लैंडर
economy
मॉड्यूल का
forum,
आल्टीट्यूड
I
धीरे
thought it
धीरे
would
अब
be
कम
necessary
होता
to
हुआ
show
दिख
this.
रहा है, और जो कि एक्सपेक्टेड भी है. अभी हम बात करें
this is a tribute
करंट
to
आल्टीट्यूड
what,
की, तो जो कि
the
28.6
Director
किलोमीटर
General of
के
Roscosmos
आसपास है.
mentioned yesterday, the future,
आप स्क्रीन
in fact,
पर
not
ये
the
भी
future,
देख
but
सकते
the
हैं
forming Russian
Chandrayaan-3 lander
multi-constellation
imager
of satellites
display.
of different
The lander
types.
imager is
Several of them
continuously
have already been launched.
continuously taking photographs of the
And
moon
this is in
surface,
essence what
and that is also being
the
streamed
business
here.
of my company is. Gulf
Currently,
Cosmos
the
is
horizontal
a
velocity
100% subsidiary of Roscosmos
has been
Space
brought down,
Corporation.
and the distance traveled is
We were founded in
574
1985,
kilometers.
and since
The
then,
current altitude
India
is
was one of our
27
main,
kilometers, as can be
partners in,
seen on the screen.
international space business.
जी हाँ,
In fact,
करीब
the core
अपने
business of our
आधे
company,
सफर को पूरा करते हुए इस रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज में
the
लैंडर
most
बहुत ही
probably
आगे की
important part
तरफ
of it is
बढ़ते हुए
providing launch services.
अपनी ऊंचाई को घटा
In
रहा है.
fact,
अगर अब
one
बात
of the
करें
last,
तो
launches
लैंडर की
was,
ऊंचाई
from the nearest
चंद्रमा
Russian
के सतह
spaceport
से
was Stochny.
लगभग 27 किलोमीटर से
organized
नीचे
the
हो
launch
चुकी
of
है,
42
करीब
piggybacks,
26.7 किलोमीटर के आसपास है.
We also propose commercial space
The next
flights
phase
to the
after
ISS.
the
next
rough
launch
braking phase
opportunity
is the
will be in
attitude hold
2025.
phase, which will
By the
be
way,
for a duration of
speaking
nearly
about,
10 seconds. The lander
secondary
will be
payloads,
oriented such
all,
that both the
opportunities
altimeters
for
will
this
be looking
year are
exactly
booked
towards
already,
the moon
but we have
surface.
every year at least 2
At
to
the
3
end of this
opportunities to
attitude hold
put
phase,
here
height
payload
measurement
on a
update to
federal
navigation
Russian
system
launch.
will be given from the
Finally,
laser laser and car band altimeters, Currently, we are in the middle of the rough breaking phase.
It is doing with the private companies.
जी हाँ, अगर हम ध्यान से देखें तो लगभग 8 मिनट की यात्रा के बाद लैंडर अपनी हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी को लगातार कम करते हुए अपनी ऊंचाई अभी की ऊंचाई के समय 24 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर चुका है।
As a one-stop shop for the whole Russian space industry, we're facilitating your contacts with a very
अब तक के आंकड़े को देखते हुए हम कह सकते हैं कि लैंडिंग पूरी तरह से नॉमिनल है। यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं कि हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी लगातार कम होती हुई दिख रही है।
I'd like to now invite from Inmarsat UK, Mr. Gautam Sharma.
The altitude of lander from ground is currently 22 kilometer, which is again going to be coming down, and that is expected.
For the viewers who have joined now, we are in the power descent phase, and we are in the rough braking phase, which is the first phase of the power descent. We have currently traveled a downrange of 697 kilometers. And the downrange that has to be traveled during this phase is 713.5 kilometers.
One of the largest
जी हाँ, अभी आप देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी लगभग 720 मीटर प्रति सेकंड हो गई है। लगभग हम ये कह सकते हैं कि 900 मीटर प्रति सेकंड वेलोसिटी को कम किया जा चुका है।
Inmarsat becomes a $4.1 billion revenue company with EBITDA of 1.4 billion. And
at the same time, we can see the altitude of the lander is just 17.8 kilometers from the moon surface, which is going to be around 7.4 at the end of the rough braking phase.
And in addition to this, we are also planning to launch 10 more satellites, including 2 satellites in geo orbit,
हम जाएंगे towards
in the Arctic region.
Attitude hold phase,
which we will be addressing by 2030 would
where we will be expecting sensor update from the laser and car band altimeters,
out of which 300 employees are based out of India. And we
can see the visualization of the lander module
almost 90 plus places,
moving towards
including
the
3
moon's
offices
surface.
in India, which include
the current
Chennai,
altitude is nearly
Hyderabad,
15.2 kilometers,
and
the distance traveled is 754 kilometers.
Jointly.
We can also see the image that the lander imager camera has been providing.
Satellite services giving high throughput
जी
broadband
हाँ, इस
connectivity
रफ
to
ब्रेकिंग फेज
consumers.
के दौरान 800
strategic
न्यूटन के
government
चारों
services,
थ्रोटल इंजन
as well
अपने
as
कार्य को
mobility
पूरी तरह
services.
से अंजाम दे रहे
The key
हैं
markets
और
would be commercial
लैंडर के
aviation,
हॉरिजॉन्टल
business
वेलोसिटी
aviation,
को लगातार कम कर रहे हैं।
maritime, space,
अब तक लैंडर
tactical
लगभग
networking, etc.
अपने 75 से 80%
We
की
also
यात्रा को
believe the
पूरा कर
future
चुका है।
lies towards broadband and IoT, and that's why the focus would remain on energy, aviation, fixed, government, maritime.
After the rough
and
braking
on
and the
IoT
attitude hold
side,
phase,
on
we shall be
tracking and
having the
monitoring
fine
and
braking
analytics.
phase, which will continue for nearly 3 minutes.
As I said, we believe in connections, and our focus
The whole phase
remains
is
on
being driven by the autonomous
sustainability
landing
because we
sequencer, and there
strongly
is no
believe
intervention from
protecting
ground.
environment is important for every citizen. Community and charitable giving,
जी हाँ
and
आरुषि, अभी आप
diversity
अपनी
and
स्क्रीन पे
inclusion.
देख सकती हैं कि
These are few of
जो
the
करंट
customers which we are
आल्टीट्यूड
already
है
serving in India, which
चंद्रमा के
includes
सतह
Vistara
से
Airlines. They're using our
लगभग
safety
10
suite for
किलोमीटर के
broadband
आसपास है।
solutions in their cockpits. In
जी
addition to
हाँ,
SpiceJet,
हम अपने
where we have in some of their 777 Maxes, our Global Express services. We also serve Great Eastern Shipping
जी
Corporation
हाँ,
of India
हमारे
by
प्रधानमंत्री
digitizing
जी
their
श्री
maritime
नरेंद्र
vessels,
मोदी जी हम
Shipping
सभी का
Corporation of
उत्साहवर्धन
India,
करने के लिए
and similarly,
दक्षिणी
we're also
अफ्रीका के
giving
जोहान्सबर्ग से जुड़ गए हैं।
connectivity across board to defense forces, which includes Swift broadband as well as fleet broadband and Inmarsat C services. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Yes, we are privileged to have with us Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who has joined us from South Africa's Johannesburg to encourage us.
Okay.
जी हाँ, आप ये देख सकते हैं एटीट्यूड होल्ड फेस भी बहुत ही
ladies and gentlemen.
आसानी से लैंडर फेस ने पार कर लिया है और अब फाइन ब्रेकिंग की शुरुआत हो चुकी है। अभी हम ये देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 5.6 किलोमीटर है, जो कि इस फेज के उपरांत लगभग 800 मीटर हो जाएगी।
Services anytime, anywhere, inside of every time.
We can hear from the mission operations team that the sensors are performing nominally.
19,500 kilometers.
And we are currently in the midst of the fine braking phase, which is going to continue for 3 minutes. And the altitude is going to be reduced to nearly 800 meters at the end of this phase.
Satellites will go into the orbit.
जी हाँ, जैसा कि आरुषि जी ने बताया कि लगभग 3 मिनट के उपरांत लैंडर की हाइट लगभग 800 मीटर वर्टिकली होगी और यहाँ पे लैंडर की हॉरिजेंटल वेलोसिटी, वर्टिकल वेलोसिटी, इवन डाउन रेंज भी लगभग शून्य होगा।
We can see the visual of the lander module, and we can see that the downrange traveled is nearly 831 kilometers.
Working for KA band, but I'm pleased to announce that very soon this terminal will evolve to switch over to the other bands, including Geo, Leo, and other bands. This terminal
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई अब चंद्रमा के सतह से लगभग 3 किलोमीटर से कम हो चुकी है।
And 1.2 meter antenna giving
We
up
are
to 1 Gbps.
very close to the moon's surface, nearly 2.6 kilometers, as we can see.
Starting with the residential enterprise broadband services, GSM backhaul, government for digital rollouts, services including the earth monitoring, military and defense, other data and communication services, disaster recovery, and rescue services. Just to conclude, we are a bridge between MEO,
जी हाँ, अभी आप देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 1 किलोमीटर के आसपास है।
Vasudeva Kutabakam, which is one earth, one space, one family. Thank you so much.
We are nearing the final phase of the power descent,
presentation, and I'd like to now call
which is going to be the vertical descent phase or the local navigation phase.
Esteemed delegates from Eliana, Singapore, Indra, Spain, Satlantis, Spain, PLD Space, Spain, and Hindustan Aeronautics.
एकदम करीब आ चुके हैं। आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते हैं कि हम लोगों ने तीसरे चरण को भी बहुत ही सफलतापूर्वक हासिल कर लिया है और अभी हम वर्टिकल डिसेंट फेज में आ चुके हैं, जिसकी शुरुआत भी बहुत ही अच्छे ढंग से हो चुकी है।
Space infrastructure and diversified technical solutions, a lot of mumbo jumbo there, but what I'll say is,
lot of applause indicates that till now the performance has been nominal. We are in the vertical descent phase 1.
One single launch. It is a fairly large system. It's about 40%
the altitude is being brought down from 800 meters.
It has a power
and we are nearing and approaching the lunar surface.
The actual research system that's in the
जी,
vehicle will have
आप अपनी
100% of the
स्क्रीन पे
payload
देख
capacity of
सकते
the
हैं कि
ISS
लैंडर
actually, and
का
then some.
हाइट लगातार कम होता जा रहा है। इस समय हम लैंडिंग साइट के जस्ट ऊपर हैं और इस समय इसकी ऊंचाई लगभग 600 मीटर के आसपास है। इस फेज के दौरान लगभग 150 मीटर के ऊंचाई पे पहुंचने के बाद लैंडर अगेन लगभग 20 से 22 सेकंड के लिए हॉवरिंग करेगा।
We are above the landing site. The horizontal as well as the vertical velocity is now being constantly reduced, and the lander module has begun its descent towards the landing site.
They all have different needs, different kind of types of customers who really don't play well together. You don't want to be doing advanced microgravity research next to somebody who wants to play their music really loud as they move forward, or doing manufacturing sturdy.
अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि जो पथ निर्धारित किया गया है, लैंडर पूरी तरह से उसी को ही फॉलो कर रहा है इस समय हम
spacecraft
लगभग
communication
200
systems,
मीटर की हाइट से भी
propulsion systems,
कम आ
both
चुके
solid
हैं।
and electric systems, Earth and space visualization, ISR, and other advanced solutions.
अब हम ये देख
So just
सकते
really
हैं
quickly,
कि हम
one of the things we're
लगभग
looking at is how do we
150 मीटर की
recycle
ऊंचाई
upper
पे हैं
stages to be
चंद्रमा
used
के सतह
as
से।
outposts for Earth observation or other types of research.
We are
that folks might
approaching
wanna
the
do as we move forward.
vertical descent phase 2,
airlocks, of
which
course,
will
we're doing-
have
we
the
do
lander
British
module
airlock now. It's the
hovering
first
at
commercial,
nearly
real
150
estate that became the
meters
perfect,
above the
permanent
lunar
addition to the
surface.
ISS
जी हाँ,
in
आप इस तालियों के
2020,
गड़गड़ाहट को सुन सकते हैं, जो कि सेकेंड
it's
हाइब्रिड
actually very
स्पेस के
large.
कंप्लीट
It's a
होने
little
के
bit- I
बाद
can stand up
इन
inside it,
सारे वैज्ञानिकों के
and we put payloads
द्वारा
in
की
it
जा
and
रही है।
expose them to the vacuum of space as we move forward.
जी हाँ, आप
We do
अगर
launch and
फिर से
mission
ध्यान से
management
देखें
systems,
तो एल्टीट्यूड
Nanarax,
पुनः
one of
कम
our
होता जा रहा है।
companies, has been,
अभी हम लोग
doing,
लगभग 135 मीटर की ऊंचाई
research
पे
on
हैं।
the ISS for over a decade. Have launched over 1,500
The sensors
payloads.
that
We're
are
the largest,
updating at this point
launcher of
are
payload
providing
systems,
confirmation of the
in space
safety
with
of the
that.
landing site.
As expected, the
We're
retargeting
doing
is going on,
orbit services,
and this is a very good
sustainability,
signature for the
refueling
lander.
systems, those types of things, capture management
अभी आप
systems,
ये
dog
देख सकते
tags,
हैं
where you
कि
can
लैंडर की
use
ऊंचाई
electropermanent
लगभग
magnets and
65
connect
मीटर
to
के आसपास बची हुई है।
facilities, connect in space, so you can capture them and then either refuel them or remove debris. Communication systems,
Currently,
laser and
only
RF
2
communications.
engines
We
are
have been
now
doing
being
RF
fired,
communications for quite a number
and
of years,
we are
as well as laser
nearly at
communications,
zero
digital systems,
velocity,
electro-optics,
vertical and
custom
horizontal.
communication
We were
systems.
hovering, and now
As I
we are
said, solid electric
approaching the
propulsion
moon
systems,
surface.
And then Earth visualization systems, we have
धीरे-धीरे
ISR
लैंडर
capabilities
की
that we
वेगमान
use.
को कम
And then
किया जा रहा
finally,
है,
you know,
और हम अब
other
लगभग
solutions that are
50
out there,
मीटर
for
से भी
example, we're involved with
कम आ चुके हैं।
oxygen development on using lunar regolith.
We can
and
see
other
the
minerals
Honorable
and how
Prime
we go use
Minister,
those,
Shri
as well as
Narendra
launch
Modi
pad
ji,
infrastructures,
who
ground
is
systems, and things
here
like
to
that. So with
encourage
that,
us, and he is critically looking at the visuals.
Thank you very much, sir. And now from Aliena, Singapore, Dr. Mark is going to present.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary, Department of Space and Chairman ISRO,
Distinguished delegates,
Shri S.
I'm Mark Lin,
Somnath.
co-founder and CEO of Aliena. Aliena is a Singapore-based
लैंडर
company
मॉड्यूल
that aims
पूरी
to
तरह
provide last mile mobility
से
to
सेफली
regions
और
for
सॉफ्टली
satellites.
चंद्रमा के सतह पे
Aliena's
लैंड हो
proud
चुका
spin-off
है।
of Nanyang
ये हम लोगों के लिए
Technological University,
बहुत ही गर्व
We
की
were
बात है।
incorporated in 2018
हिंदी में एक
to seize
कहावत है
opportunities
कि
presented
चंदा
from
मामा
the
दूर के,
space renaissance.
लेकिन अब हम ये कह
This
सकते हैं
includes the
कि
improved
चंदा
performance
मामा
and widespread
अपने घर
deployment
के।
of small satellites,
बहुत ही
the
उम्दा,
observation of
the hard
satellites
work
operating
of the
at low
entire
altitudes,
ISRO community
and
has
the
come
shift
to
towards
fruition.
deployment of satellites in small to large constellations. Our core product today is the multi-stage ignition compact Hole thruster, or in short, Music Engine. Music offers cost-effective performance, making it the industry standard for satellite platforms interested in compliance with deorbiting regulations, enabling operations of satellites in constellations, and
Sir, we have
improvement of
achieved
satellite performance
soft
through
landing on the
operations
moon.
at very low
India
Earth
is
orbit.
on the moon.
Just like the melting pot of cultures and innovation in Singapore, Aliena features an international team who have extended experience working on 7 different
I request our
international
Honorable
projects.
Prime Minister to address
We
us
also
and
actively
bless us.
engage
Thank
in
you, sir.
capability development within Singapore by training and mentoring space systems engineers of tomorrow through our internship programs.
मेरे प्यारे परिवारजनों,
We have contributed globally through the
जब
demonstration
हम
of our
अपनी
systems at various
आंखों के सामने
laboratories. This includes laboratories at ESA,
ऐसा
Stanford, Imperial College London, and Kyushu
इतिहास
Institute of
बनते
Technology
हुए
in Japan.
देखते हैं,
We have also provided our systems and
जीवन
components to meet
धन्य
some
हो
of the
जाता है।
frontier R&D needs of numerous research centers pursuing electric
ऐसी
propulsion.
ऐतिहासिक घटनाएं
Now, let me just spend a little bit of time speaking about our missions. We first made waves with the development and deployment of an ultra-low power Hole thruster. This was launched in January 2022 on SpaceX Transporter 3 mission. The system launch is officially the world's lowest power Hole thruster at just 10 watts and offers capability for ignition on demand. The satellite which hosted our system is also the world's smallest satellite to host a Hole effect thruster at just 2 U. Our next mission is actually in a couple of weeks' time, and it's an incredible honor for us to be in India now, since the launch will be on the PSLV. In this mission, a 12U satellite will demonstrate our music engine as a multimodal engine alongside other systems built internationally. As an international collaboration managed by Eliana Singapore, this cooperation involved the UK for the provision of the satellite bus, as well as Finland for the Resisto jets paired with our home thruster. We are incredibly proud to be providing our engines to a local consortium made up of academic and industry entities that will be flying a small satellite demonstrator at very low Earth orbit. This endeavor aims to characterize the environment at VLEO and demonstrate capabilities for data acquisition in VLEO while compensating for drag using our low-power engines. Finally, we would like to share that we have made history with a UK consortium earlier this year by demonstrating the world's first hull thruster to operate on water as a fuel. Eliana provided a critical enabling subsystem for the thruster testbed, and it was demonstrated to operate nominally in Imperial College London and at the European Space Agency Propulsion Laboratory just a few months ago. Now, in conclusion, we'd like to take this opportunity at G20 SCLM to highlight that we are extremely keen on forging new partnerships internationally. We also like to explore new mechanisms or collaborative opportunities for us to provide our systems and components to sharpen the edge of your missions. I'm confident that we can go far together, and I'm looking forward to making meaningful partnerships on the sidelines of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, we now go on to India, Spain. May I invite Ms. Chandrayan to kindly make a presentation.
दक्षिण अफ्रीका में हूं, लेकिन हर देशवासी की तरह
There's also a video on the slide, so we'll play that video.
चंद्रयान महाअभियान पर भी लगा हुआ था.
Okay, thank you
नया
very much,
इतिहास बनते ही
for giving us the opportunity
हर
to stay
भारतीय
here, showing a little what
जश्न
Indra
में
company
डूब
can
गया.
do for everybody in the world,
हर घर
especially
में
regarding to the space.
उत्सव
Indra
शुरू
is
हो
a
गया.
company that more than 56,000 employees
हृदय
around
से
the world, with a presence in
मैं
more than
भी
46 countries and
अपने
with projects in more
देशवासियों
than
के साथ
140.
अपने परिवारजनों के साथ इस उमंग
Really,
और
we are
उल्लास से
starting.
जुड़ा हुआ.
Here is the video. Please, could you add?
मैं टीम चंद्रयान को, इसरो को और देश के सभी वैज्ञानिकों को जी जान से बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, जिन्होंने इस पल के
Thank you very
लिए
much. This is the our
वर्षों
radar
तक इतना
for
परिश्रम
surveillance
किया.
of the space.
उत्साह,
Really, the situation
उमंग,
regarding the space and the
आनंद
degrees that we are suffering
और
every day
भावुकता से
more and
भरे
more. We need to have a clear
इस
idea
अद्भुत
about
पल
what is
के
going
लिए
on. Really,
मैं
the situation
140
every
करोड़
day is more
देशवासियों को भी
congested, and we need to know exactly what happened.
कोटि
The
बधाइयां
spatial
देता हूं.
awareness is one of the critical areas, and for
मेरे
that we
परिवारजनों,
have development our surveillance radar
हमारे
that with the
वैज्ञानिकों के
capability of the
परिश्रम
coverage of more than 2,000
और
kilometers,
प्रतिभा से
okay, and with very high
भारत
accuracy in the detection.
चंद्रमा
With
के
this, we
उस
can perform a
दक्षिणी
complete
ध्रुव पर
catalog
पहुंचा
about
है,
the things that has
जहां
surrounding
आज
us,
तक
okay, and we can try to predict
दुनिया का
what will
कोई
be the
भी देश
behavior in
नहीं
some
पहुंच
extent.
सका.
In this situation, we have an L-band
अब
radar,
आज के बाद से
monostatic, with transmitter and receiver antennas
चांद से
oriented to
जुड़े
the south area in a plane
मिथक
forming
बदल जाएंगे,
offset 30 degrees. This
कथानक
radar
भी
is
बदल
under
जाएंगे
operation from our Spanish Air
और
Force
नई
from
पीढ़ी
the
के लिए
end of the 1990s.
कहावतें भी बदल जाएगी. भारत में
That
तो
right
हम
now is under the operation
हम सभी
of the
लोग
Spanish Air Force, as I mentioned.
धरती को
This is a radar
माँ
that is
कहते हैं
contributing to the
और चांद को
network
मामा
and
बुलाते
is
हैं.
giving all the information
कभी
to
कहा
avoid
जाता था
any collision, to
चंदा
predict
मामा
the entries,
बहुत
and
दूर
also
के
to
हैं.
analyze what
चंदा
happened in the
मामा
space.
बहुत
Really, we
दूर
have a
के
long
हैं.
company with a long history
अब एक
in
दिन वो
radar
भी आएगा
application, and
जब
this is
बच्चे
key for
कहा
us.
करेंगे चंदा
Also, we are in
मामा
the space in domain,
बस
in the navigation
एक
area,
दूर के
in the
हैं.
control observation and space tracking, and in Earth
Friends,
observation applications. In all
on
of
this
this, we are
joyous
using the
occasion,
Earth observation, for instance, in the downstream.
I would like
we are
to address
monitoring the change in the
all the people of the world,
conditions. We are also checking
people
and
of every country
planning
and
the
region.
emergencies and rescues happen, and
India's
just giving us
successful
as much
moon
information
mission
in the image and the
is
profession
not
that we
just
can.
India's alone.
With this, we can plan perfectly what is
This
the
is a
situation
year
of the disasters.
in which
In the navigation area, we are
the world
contributing
is
in the GNSS
witnessing
infrastructure and the performance
India's
and the monitoring
G20
and
presidency.
detection.
Our approach of
Also, we are
One
planning
Earth,
to have, and we are working
one
right now
family,
in Startical. Startical is a
one
joint
future
venture between an area
is
and India,
resonating
with a 50% of
across the globe.
is one, that we are preparing a
This
very big constellation with
human-centric
more than
approach
250 satellites.
that we present
Just mainly focus in the
and that we
VHF
represent
and ADS-B
has
payload
been
for ATM control.
welcome universally.
These are the payloads
Our
destined
moon
to
mission
avoid any misinformation
is
during
also
the
based
transoceanic
on the
flights,
same
and is going to give also the
human-centric
possibility
approach.
to save in the
Therefore,
oils and the transit
this
areas
success
to minimize the time
belongs
also for the
to
flights.
all of humanity.
Just thank you very much
And
for the time.
it will help moon missions
Thank
by
you very much,
other
madam.
countries
And with that,
in the future.
I would now invite from Satlantis, Spain,
I
Mr.
am
Guillermo Rosado.
confident that all countries in the world, including those from the global south, are capable of achieving
Good
such
afternoon.
feats. We can
Mr.
all
Chairman,
aspire
distinguished
for the
guests,
moon
ladies and gentlemen.
and
Good afternoon.
beyond.
My pleasure on behalf of Atlantis being present here.
मेरे परिवारजनों,
We will,
चंद्रयान
my name is Guillermo Rosado,
महाअभियान
Director
के
of International
उपलब्धि
Business for the company, and we'll have
भारत की
a
उड़ान
3 minutes
को
journey, now less,
चंद्रमा
around
की
Atlantis
कक्षाओं
and
से
images
आगे
around the
जाएगी.
Earth.
हम
We come from the astrophysics, that's our
हमारे
DNA. We come
सौरमंडल
from
की
watching
सीमाओं का
stars, you know,
सामर्थ्य
astrophysics,
परखेंगे
this coffee at 3 a.m., watching
और
from special
मानव के
phenomena,
लिए
trying to understand what is happening up
ब्रह्मांड
there,
की
to
अनेक
watch the Earth, to look
संभावनाओं
down.
को
And that's the technology that
साकार
Atlantis
करने के
has
लिए
developed
भी
using
जरूर
technology for
काम
deep space
करेंगे.
employed for Earth observation.
हमने
So we have developed an
भविष्य
optical
के लिए
payload, high-resolution optical payload
कई बड़े
that is able to work
और
in different spectral bands
महत्वाकांक्षी लक्ष्य तय किए.
and able to work with its dimensions
जल्द
with
ही
small satellites thanks to the
सूर्य के
hardware and
विस्तृत
to the
अध्ययन
software
के लिए
designed by Atlantis.
इसरो
Now we're providing
आदित्य
full Earth observation
L1
solutions
mission launch
built
करने जा
around
रहा.
the core of the mission,
इसके
the brain of the
बाद
mission, that is the
शुक्र
optical
भी
payload, in order to be able
इसरो
to
के
transmit
लक्ष्यों
to
में
the,
से एक
to the
है.
customer as a prime contractor the Earth
गगनयान
observation
के
strategy
जरिए
based on our knowledge of the
देश
optical.
अपने
We are
पहले
100 employees company
human
right now, a
space
combination
flight
of
mission
private
के
and
लिए
public
भी
shareholders. As
पूरी
private
तैयारी के
shareholders, we
साथ
have
जुटा
several
है.
oil and gas investors. As
भारत
oil and gas sector
बार
needs
बार ये
to
साबित कर रहा
understand
है
better and better the methane emissions.
sky is
And
not the
space
limit.
is the best, one of the best assets to have a
साथियों,
wide scanning, wide screening
science और
of methane
technology
emissions with detection and quantification. We're able to
देश
do this,
के उज्जवल
configuring our
भविष्य का
sensor in the
आधार
split
है.
channel and detecting methane
इसलिए
with on 126,
आज के इस
65
दिन को
microns.
देश हमेशा हमेशा के
This is
लिए
our portfolio
याद
of payloads. We have two payloads in the
ये
market right
दिन
now, one under development.
हम सभी को
The smaller ones, 4 kilograms,
एक
GSD, around 2
उज्जवल
meters.
भविष्य की ओर
The 170, which is
बढ़ने
80
के लिए
centimeter, you saw
प्रेरित
our previous image in the previous slides.
ये
And
दिन
IC300, which a target with a target of
अपने
below 50
संकल्पों
centimeters.
की सिद्धि
When
का
when
रास्ता
working with
दिखाएगा.
full turnkey solutions, full
ये
satellites
दिन
for customers, we're
इस
working with a
बात का
platform you can
प्रतीक
see on
है
the screen and 16 CubeSat,
कि
microsat,
हार
and
से
minisats,
सबक
and future
लेकर
with IC300.
जीत कैसे
This is our technology
हासिल
roadmap.
की जाती
We are strong right
एक
now
बार
in
फिर
the upstream and
देश
extending
के
to
सभी
MWIR and
वैज्ञानिकों
and
को
polarimetry. These
बहुत
are our
बहुत
missions. We are in our
बधाई
4th mission right now.
और
We
भविष्य के
launched our
मिशन के
2nd
लिए
satellite some
ढेरों
weeks ago. We transported
शुभकामनाएं.
8, and we have ahead
बहुत बहुत
3
धन्यवाद.
missions for next year on 16 new CubeSats and on 2 microsats with different instruments on board for oil and gas and defense and security. You can see an image of Suez Channel in Egypt. Thank you very much. Shukriya, I just want to share a thought on behalf of Atlantis. Some centuries ago, ocean and sea were granting hope for mankind. And probably today, we're all here and good by a new hope, which is space. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shukriya.
Thank you, Adranaya Pradhan Mantri ji, for being part of our journey to this
Thank
success.
you very much to you, sir.
And
now
let
from
me take this
PLD
opportunity
Space
to
Team, may I
thank
invite Mr. Rahul.
the people behind this mission, the project director of Chandrayaan-3, is here.
Hello everybody, this is Raul Berru, the founder of PLD of Space. It's a pleasure to be here in the G20 event. It's very proud to share with us our capabilities. So PLD Space is a small launcher company. We are developing a simple and robust eco-friendly rocket. So we are selecting the very mature technologies in terms of engines, structures, avionics, ground equipment, operations and everything to do a very simple rocket to be operated and to develop an orbital class vehicle super, let me say, reliable, because we are understanding that we are not trying to improve the state of the art of the rocket. We are just trying to do it in a very simple way, in a very cost-effective way. I want to add also that it's eco-friendly. We are using green propellants.
The entire mission operations, right from launch till landing, happened flawlessly as per the timeline. And we became the 4th country to land, to demonstrate the soft landing onto the moon surface. And we became the first country to go to near to the south pole of the moon.
Vertically integrated company, so we manufacture everything in-house. We purchase the raw material and enter from one door of our workshop and in the other door
I take this opportunity to thank navigation guidance and
testing
control
capacity,
team,
we have
propulsion team,
100,000 square
sensors
meter
team,
of
and
ground
all the mainframe subsystems team who have brought success to this mission.
Systems,
I also take the opportunity to thank the Critical Operations Review Committee for thoroughly reviewing the mission operations right from launch till this date. The target was on spot because of the review process. I also thank the ISRO IR management, right from Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, and all the center directors and ISRO officials. And finally, my thanks to the Chandrayaan-3 project executives spread across the ISRO centers. Thank you.
Rockets per year. So our last milestone was our first launch attempt. Unfortunately, our demonstrator vehicle called Mura-1 commands out
to be part of Chandrayaan-3 and acting as mission director. I would like to thank each and every team member who has supported in carrying out all the mission operations flawlessly.
That was founded in 2011, 12 years of heritage.
I would like to thank my senior management, Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, my senior colleagues, and my team members
with our national
for carrying out
government
and supporting all the
space agency. So I think
carrying out in proper
with our
way.
project and our colleagues at Spain, we are warranting at national level the capacity and the European level the capacity to launch something in the space.
This will remain the most memorable and the happiest moment for all of us, for our team Chandrayaan-3
in September, October this year. So thank you very much to everybody.
We have achieved our goal flawlessly.
And
from the day we started rebuilding our spacecraft after Chandrayaan-2 experience, it has been breathe in, breathe out Chandrayaan-3 for our team.
Works to be closer to
and
the podium.
Starting from the reconfiguration to all the special tests and the simulations we have conducted meticulously, and this has been possible only because of our immense effort from our Chandrayaan-3 team, and of course with the guidance,
strategic partner. Has been associated
with the guidance from our Chairman ISRO, our directors and all our experts. With all this, it has been possible. Thank you one and all. Thank you for all the minutest help which has been provided from all the areas of departments.
Mars
Thank you.
orbiter
Thank you.
mission, Chandrayaan-2, through atmospheric re-entry experiment test,
Chandrayaan-3 is a result of the work done by thousands of scientists, engineers, our staff and industries and support team across ISRO and other places, other institutions.
HAL has been supplying
and Chandrayan has been the lead
tankages,
of the center which
for PSLV,
integrated all of these efforts in the last so many years.
Launch vehicles.
So I request
we
him
have delivered
to
the
speak
biggest
on behalf
tank
of all
and
of you.
also the heaviest tank for cryogenic upgradation development program of ISRO. We are making critical hardware for the Gaganyaan project for both the unmanned and subsequently manned missions planned by ISRO. HAL is already supplying L40 integrated stages for the GSLV vehicle.
Thank you very much for the affection.
We have also established dedicated facility for taking up stage integration of
we have achieved
GS2 stages
what we set out to achieve in 2019.
GSLV respectively.
It was delayed by about 4 years.
Further, HAL along with L&T will be realizing the PSLV launch
Chandrayaan-3
vehicle
was
for
launched
NSIL in the coming years.
after the
This
separation of
challenging
the
project,
spacecraft
once
from
accomplished,
launch
will go a
vehicle, I
long
said
way in establishing
I
the
will
role
speak
of industry
the rest
in
of the
taking
things
up bigger,
after the
complex,
soft landing.
end-to-end realization
here
projects
I will take
for the Indian space
couple of minutes to
programs.
tell
HAL has also established
the tremendous
the
amount of
cryogenic rocket
effort
manufacturing facility
that has been put in
Bangalore. We have commenced the
by the
pre-production
entire project
activities
team.
and
When
are
I say
hopeful of
project team,
rolling
it is
out the
not just
development
only
modules of the engine
the project
in a
director
couple of
and
months'
associate
time.
project director. Of course, they are the face of the project. They have been
The
living,
facilities
sleeping, eating,
with
breathing
aerospace
Chandrayaan for
division
the
have
last
been
4 years.
augmented continuously over time to manufacture
They have been
structures
supported
and
by
propellant tanks
such a
of
large
different
number
types
of
and
people,
sizes, different materials
particularly
and varied
in the
complexities.
navigation,
The manufacturing excellence of
guidance
the division
and
is
control
visible in production
area,
of spaceworthy
propulsion
large
system.
components and assemblies
This
with
area,
stringent dimensional
the amount
and
of
quality
effort that has been
requirements.
put by people, the number
The
of simulations
altitude of
that have
lander
been
from
done, the number of reviews they have gone through,
HAL has been
the
the
amount of
mainstay partner
criticism
from the
they
era of
faced
experimentation
and
to the present
overcome
era
that.
of commercialization.
It is
We hope that this journey will
as a person
continue
who has been
and
watching
HAL
this
will remain to
for
serve
the
the
last
Indian space
4 years
industry in
along
every
with
way
them.
possible. Thank
My
you.
heart
Jai
feels,
Hind.
my heart goes out for them. The amount of effort is
Thank
tremendous.
you very much, sir. And now may I invite
That is
Lasin
what
and Tubro.
ISRO is all about. That is what our
Lakshmesh
organization
is
has
going to now
taught us to
present.
do. Now today this success
Good afternoon, sir.
has put us even more higher
thanks for
responsibility,
the
as the Honorable
honor
Prime
to
Minister
be
was
here
telling,
in the G20
because we have set the bar now so high. Nothing less than
80 years of strong customer focus and world-class quality.
Nothing less
L&T
spectacular
has
than this
unmatched
is
capabilities
going to be
across
inspiring for
technology,
any of
engineering,
us in the
construction,
future.
high-tech
So as
manufacturing,
the Honorable Prime Minister
and
mentioned,
of course
we
maintains
will
leadership
be now
positions
looking at
across
putting
all
the
its
man in
businesses.
space, putting a
In the domain of
spacecraft
high-tech
around
manufacturing,
Venus,
L&T has
and activities
sectors,
are going
power,
on for
nuclear power,
few years,
defense,
and
of course,
this success
aerospace.
today will inspire us and will spur
L&T
us
has
to
been
take those
partner
efforts
to ISRO
even more
over 5
strongly,
decades,
so that
and across
we will
practically
make our
every
country
domain
proud
of
again and again and
the
again.
upstream,
Thank you very
midstream,
much
and
for
downstreams.
every one of you
When it
who
comes
have
to the
directly
upstream,
or indirectly
Larsen & Toubro has
participated in
been
this mission, encouraged
scaling
us,
up from being a tier 1 to
intentionally
super
or
tier 1 to a
unintentionally
complete system
helped us
in launch
in
vehicle
all for
domain.
every one of
course,
you.
with
A big thank
colleagues.
you, because
HAL, we are going to do the PSLV
casual remark,
system
an
integration.
unintended point,
In terms of satellite, also we are
can
scaling
help
up from
a person who is
subsystems to system to
striving to
complete
reach a
bus
goal.
structure
If the
and,
person who is making that remark
power
may not
management
have meant
system.
it that
In
way,
terms of
but sometimes it can
midstream,
ignite
we have been able to
that's why
establish
I said
a lot of ground
that even
systems
unintended
and
help
communication,
is
navigation, and GSATs on
is very,
turnkey
very,
basis.
welcome, and
And
we
of
are
course,
very,
in
very
downstream,
thankful for
L&T,
that.
along with its
Thank you,
group
Team ISRO,
companies,
for
have
supporting
been
all of us.
establishing
The amount
smart
of
cities
affection
and
we
other
received
smart solutions.
when this
And
mission
you all
came
are
into
fired.
final stage.
And-
The
and
number
you,
of people who gave us
going
confidence
forward,
that
we look
nothing
at
can go wrong,
creating
and
an
this is
end-to-end
going to be
capability
successful. The amount,
across
in fact, I
the
was not
space domain.
that much confident, because we have seen couple
Both,
of times
in all the streams
because
of
I know very well
and
as a person who has been doing in this, we have seen couple of times domain for 36 years. I know, because I know very well as a person who has been doing in this domain for 36 years. I know many of there are thousands of things that any of them could any time go wrong on detail, but people are so many of them so happy to see this effort, and they want the effort. We are not that we are so they know that we are so happy to see this effort, and they want us to succeed. Not that we are they know that we are going to continue to want us to do our best. So thank you very much, flag fly ISRO's as well as India's flag fly high. Thank you very much.
In India and certainly we do believe that it's through alliances that great things can be achieved. And L&T partners with domestic, global, governmental,
Honorable Prime Minister called me and conveyed his greetings to each one of you and your family for the wonderful work you did in ISRO.
Thank you very much.
So thanks to him for the support that he is giving to us for missions like Chandrayaan-1, 3,
And now from
and
Lakshmi
the missions
Machine
that
Works Limited,
are
may
in the
I invite
offing.
Mr.
I
Channa.
think that's a great word of comfort that we are receiving for pursuing the inspirational work that we are doing for the nation. I want to tell you, and I want to thank you also for each and everyone who prayed with us in the last many days,
Lakshmi machine
who
works based out of
wanted this success to happen in ISRO. I thank all those people all around the country and maybe beyond the country for their blessings and wishes and affection that he has given to each one of us for doing this work for the last so many years. I want to specifically thank some senior people who have been standing with us, especially the name of Kiran Kumar sir.
Green parts from our facility. We have installed 50 solar and wind mill.
Mr. Kamalakar.
So we're also supplying the green energy parts.
Sri Koteshwar Rao.
Glimpse of composite facility. You see all the facilities have been available at our shop.
So much.
Right from
they were
cold
part of the
storage
team to help them to
C-scan, the
get the confidence and get the reviews done to ensure that nothing goes
the largest clean
with
room
any
we
mistakes.
have to accommodate a large launch vehicle parts. And largest autoclave we have.
And of course, this is not the work of us alone. This is a work of a generation of ISRO leadership and ISRO scientists.
Including the
and this is a journey we started in Chandrayaan-1, continued in Chandrayaan-2, and Chandrayaan-2 craft is still working and doing a lot of communication work with us. And all the team that contributed to building Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2 should be remembered and thanked while we celebrate Chandrayaan-3. And this is an incremental progress and definitely a great, huge one it is. And thank you so much for all the support and work that you have done.
We are manufacturing various payload fairing today. If you can see, the largest is around 10 meter height, the second is 3 meter height. So we will be the largest payload fairing manufacturer for various companies. Proud to say to contribution for ISRO as well, as I mentioned, including payload fairing, we are supporting the equipment-based shroud and also on the antenna structures, adapters. Some of the other programs we do with composites on the engine side, we have on the acoustic door panels, helicopter parts, radars, and also on the cowling parts for helicopter. We are also into the aerostructures. You can see the large parts of structures, including some of the space program and also on the wing parts. We do manufacture and also process at our facility and also assemble it. So we have a one-stop solution at our Coimbatore facility. As I mentioned on the capability of engine parts, we do various parts as I displayed over here, right from large 1.5 meters dia rings to various casings and the turbine parts as well. We have the special process facility to accommodate all the parts over here. We do processing and also on the requirement of painting, NDT, passivation. We are also in the assemblies of some of the structural parts of aircrafts and also on the it's in military aircrafts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's now about 4 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock now. We'll take a very short 10-minute energizing break. We've got tea, coffee lined up for you on either sides of this room. I request you to please get a cup of tea, coffee, but come back at 4:10 because 10 minutes is all we have. We have a lot of more presentations. We are at the 23rd one right now. We have 49 total presentations. So I'm going to request you to please come back in a few minutes before 10 minutes finish. So I invite you to please do join us for tea, coffee on the either sides of this room in the wings. And please come back in 10 minutes. You could bring along your tea, coffee cups. Thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen. After this, of course, for those of you, our participants, we have Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, Central Manufacturing Technology Institute, Midhani, Centum Electronics, OneWeb India, and Anant Technologies. Those are the next 6 presenters. And thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, I will be announcing the others to come join us closer to the podium. So thank you once again. Please take this energizing 10-minute break only and come back a little before. If National Research and Innovation Agency making a presentation, we request you to please take your seat here in front. And thereafter, Space Angel Australia and SABR in Australia. The presentations will be made, ladies and gentlemen, from this podium. We also have a clicker for your convenience. The clicker, the slide changer, as you can see, has a green button, which is to go ahead on your slides, and the red button is to go back, should you skip a slide. And the other thing that I have to announce is each presenter is going to get 3 minutes. We request you to please stay within time limit, and a buzzer will be sounded at the end of 2 minutes 30 seconds. So that will alert you when you have 30 seconds remaining. Additionally, there's going to be a timer running on the topmost right corner of your screen for you to assess time.
और चाहे किसी भी देश
Thank you very much for the affection. That is what our all for every one of you. A big thank you, because even casual remark, an unintended point can help a person who is striving to reach a goal. The person who is making that remark may not have meant it that way, but sometimes it can ignite that's why I said that even unintended help is very, very, very welcome, and we are very, very thankful for that. Thank you, Team ISRO, for support.
Hello.
हो और चाहे किसी भी देश के द्वारा
Mars.
Yes, sir. So we'll
12 crores to 30
Digital
crores in just 1
transformation
year.
means new ways
That's
to engage with customers
Anish
while
Verma
streamlining
grew
internal
his manufacturing
processes.
business
But
after
what happens
attending
when the rest of the
Entrepreneur to
organization gains
Wealthpreneur Challenge
agility
workshop?
while U.S.
Not just
content
that.
professionals
Sandesh
are left
Pawar,
behind
a
playing catch-up
dermatologist
with
who
legacy
was
tools?
struggling to increase footfall, now has scaled his business by 120% without running a single ad. Rizwan Beg, an interior designer who was running his business as a one-man army, now has a great